Beverly Roscoe claims her husband's ex-wife, Deborah Roscoe, harasses her constantly. Deborah is accusing Beverly of harassing her.
Mrs. Roscoe, the defendant is your husband's former wife. This
Right.
is your husband, I assume?
Yes.
And these are your two stepsons?
Yes.
Your two sons?
Right.
And your two sons?
Right.
When were you divorced?
92.
And for how long did the boys live with their father?
They never have.
Never.
Until one of them was kidnapped.
My question to you is, during what times did the boys live with their father?
The youngest one has never lived with him. The oldest one went there for a Thanksgiving vacation and never came back. In,
What year?
98.
Who's the older? You went to live with your father in when, sir?
2006.
So you lived there for 8 years?
Yes.
Did you see your brother
No.
while you lived there?
No.
It is your claim, Miss Roscoe, that your husband's former wife, the first Mrs. Roscoe, I assume the first.
She's the second.
The second Mrs. Roscoe. You are the third Mrs. Roscoe.
I'm the fourth.
You're the fourth Mrs. Roscoe.
Yes.
He's got something
You're the
Well,
fifth.
elusive, but he has something.
no.
Has been harassing you.
Right. I need to clarify
Go ahead.
what they said. First of all, Sean did not live with Bob until 2006 because he moved into my house in 2004 because he had nowhere else to go.
Is that right? You were with your stepmother?
No, I stayed with friends mainly because of, I did not
I didn't ask you for any other reason. Your complaint is that she harasses you.
Yes.
You want her to stop. She says
Right.
she doesn't harass you, you harass her. You want to know who's harassed?
The kids.
Oh.
That's true.
So, Mrs. Roscoe, the fourth Mrs. Roscoe, that would be you.
Yes.
You have 5 minutes to tell me how she's harassing you
Okay.
legally.
All right. It started in 2004 when Sean moved into my house. Bob did not live there. Sean did. He had nowhere else to go, so I let him stay with me. She found out how old I was, and it started from that point on. I have always been mistress, lot lizard. What else? All
Don't
kinds of
ask
stuff.
her.
Okay. I have emails. I have certified letters. She sent the same letter 3 times, 2 by certified mail, 1 regular mail, after she paid to get our address. This is the certified letter that she sent. And I have the email where she stated she would pay $50 to get our address again after she had contacted my ex-husband and his family members through Christmas and New Year's every year for 2 years.
I'm not interested in your ex-husband and
Okay.
his family. You're suing her.
Right, but she's trying to get our address. They
Listen
don't give
to
it,
me.
so she buys it. So
She
she
got your
sent
address.
the email she would pay
She
for
got
it.
your address. So
Right, but
let's go.
for
What
what
is the other harassment? Let's go.
Well,
go. You had 5 minutes
okay.
of moving.
All right, I'm trying. She says that the kids are not allowed to talk to their dad yet. They have an address, they have email addresses, and a phone number where they can contact him.
I haven't heard anything yet, madam, that amounts to legal harassment.
Okay.
Keep going.
Threatening to have my kids taken away from me. I live in
Just a second.
every day.
Just a second. Show me where she threatened to have your children
Okay.
taken away from you.
All right. In here, you'll see several references to where she's talked to my in-laws, my ex-in-laws, and she's surprised that they allow me to keep the kids there. She has made contact with them and tried to...
So what? Who cares?
I mean, there's no reason for her to bring me into her and Bob's business. Those are their kids. It was his support.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Miss Roscoe. There's no reason for her to get involved with you and your children and your former in-laws or anybody else. That's not legally actionable. It's just bad behavior. I'm waiting for something legally actionable. Like somebody calling you 150 times a day.
Well, we've had...
Like somebody posting things about you on the internet, defamatory statements, like somebody parking themselves outside your home with a constant surveillance of your home and police reports to
okay.
follow that up.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying to
Yes,
you?
I
So
do.
far, I see annoying. So far, I don't see legal.
Okay, here's where she states about my kids, give it time, I may not have them at all. This has been going on for years.
Miss Roscoe, just because you say it's been going on for years doesn't mean it's been going on for years.
Okay, well, I've highlighted the majority of the parts. Right here, teach your children well for as long as you have them. It's not so much...
Just a second.
Okay.
Have you ever told the truth? You lie almost as well as your boyfriend. You can't beat
That's
him.
her.
He's the best. But you come to a close second. Who wrote that?
That's her.
And then teach your children well for as long as you have them. Well, that's a good idea. Teach your children well for as long as you have them, because you won't have them forever. You could have gotten rid of me by having my son call, but that would have been too easy.
Her son was 21 years old and had known her number for years. He did not even live in my house. He lived with his girlfriend where he had a restraining order put on him.
Do you answer these messages?
I used to. I deleted that name so she wouldn't have it anymore.
So you answered her.
Sometimes, yeah, when I took all I could take. Yeah.
All
And
right,
I
so
called the
good.
police.
Okay.
And...
Keep going. Your 5 minutes are almost
Okay.
up.
Every time Bob would send her an email about the interest on the child support that she got or anything, she would answer it to me.
So what?
Well, she has a history of harassing him and being mean and violent. This is a letter from her
Did you ever
own.
file a police report?
I tried.
What do you mean you tried? What does that mean, you tried?
Because they said it would be civil. They could not do anything criminally unless I could prove something civilly. So that's why I
No,
started.
that's not true. That's a lot of baloney.
They
could not do something criminally unless you could prove something civilly? It's ridiculous. All right, let's hear about her harassment of you.
Okay. That would probably be the better way to start.
Go ahead.
It began between 99 and 2000. She started contacting my youngest son in Washington over the internet, and when I finally seen Berry Joe 99 come popping up a lot of times, I finally asked my son, I said, who is this Berry Joe? Well, that's Dad's girlfriend. And I said, no, it can't be Dad's girlfriend because that's Dad's girlfriend. What's she want? She wants me to go to the airport and she'll send me a ticket and I can go to Ohio. I said, oh, no, you're not going to Ohio. I said, I lost one son that went there for a Thanksgiving and was refused to be sent home. I said, you're not going. She continued to write, and he got to the point where he got belligerent with her. So then all of a sudden, she wasn't nice to him no more. He was going to be put into the mental institute, and that started things.
You complain that she's harassed you. You have 5 minutes to tell me how.
I have blocked her from her name from my addresses, my emails, my IMs. She now goes under my ex-husband's IMs. She posted my social security number over the internet January 29th of 2006.
Why did you do that?
During those messages that you have right there, the way she was carrying on about how she was going to come and sit in my driveway and how she was going to stay at my ex-in-laws and stuff until she could get to me the next day and stuff. Yes, I did, just to shut her up, and it worked.
So you posted her social security number?
I called the cops. They wouldn't do anything about it. So and it wasn't
You deserve
posted.
each other.
It wasn't posted.
Absolutely deserve each
That's
other.
it.
Listen to me. Sounds to me like you two women deserve each other.
No, she just needs to leave my sons and I alone.
Listen to me. Madam, you have choices in this life. If what you're going to do is make a mission out of making each other's lives miserable, because somebody's got to start the text message and somebody's got to finish it. Right now, there is absolutely no reason to have any contact with each other. You have grown children. If they want to see their father, they will contact him. If they want to speak to him, they will contact you. They're big boys. So these two women have absolutely no reason to have any contact with each other. Is that right?
That's true.
Right.
Ma'am, I've got some more
Listen to
evidence.
me. Well, get to it, because now you have 2 minutes.
I've got some recordings I'd like you to listen to.
I am absolutely going to listen to recordings if you have them.
How did you work this? These are just a couple of the messages that come over my telephone.
You know my name. You ain't called me back within 5 minutes. I'm going to go find your little boy. And by the time I'm done with him, he will need you. But he won't be leaving Ohio for a while because he'll be in the hospital.
That was him.
That was
Yes, ma'am, that was me. Yes.
You need to return my call. I would like to think that you're grown up enough to want to get some sort of help for your son, who you have no idea what has become in 7 years. As a matter of fact, it was he who pushed me, and I refused to have the cops take him. Nobody called the cops on him. He walked out in front of a cop car and almost got hit, and they were going to arrest him for the way he was yelling and carrying on, and I told them just to let him get his stuff and leave. Now, if you think you can grow up and act like a 50-year-old mother, you can call me back and I will explain to you what happened. If you want to sit there and listen to his little pouty stories, it's all full. You go right ahead. But all you and Josh are doing is bob off to a point where the only person going to pay for you two sitting there acting like idiots is Sean. So if you think you can grow up and call me back, I'll be here for a
Nothing wrong with that message.
They get better.
The consequences.
She stopped up. Listen to me. I didn't ask you for anything.
Wonderful mother that you portray yourself as, you would personally give it what's going on in your kid's life. But since you don't, that's fine. I will make sure he gets a ride back to Washington. You can either call me back and be mature, or I'll send him back via the Knox County Sheriff's Department. That's your choice.
Now, who's harassing who?
Just a sec. Shh. Quiet.
All I'm going to say is you better have made sure you got permission from his probation officer to take him out of the state, because she will know tomorrow that you did. You can either grow up and talk to me like a woman and quit calling Bob's cell phone like some tramp in heat, or I will file charges on you like they told me I could. And as for Sean, you're really teaching him a lot of responsibility to have him up and walk off of a job that he had for less than a month. Yeah, you're teaching him a lot, Deb.
You tired of him yet?
I haven't heard anything that's legally actionable, madam. Nothing.
No, it's just showing that who is calling who.
Listen to me. You text her, you write to her. She has. Listen.
Go ahead and write
she had evidently, Mrs. Roscoe. She had your son at some point living in her home. This one, and there was clearly some difficulty with him in the home. I don't plan on getting into what it was because, quite frankly, I don't care. It has absolutely nothing to do with this lawsuit. All I have to tell you is, people behaving badly does not create a lawsuit. Just listen to me very carefully. Mr. Wonderful over here got married 4 times. You have a short attention span, Mr. Roscoe. In any event, what the 2 wives have done is they've made their lives miserable, at least currently, with calling and writing and texting and whatever. It's time to say enough. Because these 2, whether they're good kids, whether they're not good kids, whether they're difficult, whether they're problems, right now, how old are you?
22.
And you?
20.
All grown up. It takes 2 to make an argument. 2. Right now, you have no reason to have any communication with each other. Do you speak to your sons?
I haven't since September.
That's their prerogative, sir. If for some reason they don't want to talk to you, that's it. But it has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with their mother. Because they're big boys, and if they wanted to talk to you, they would. So I don't see any reason for you to have any further contact with each other. Why don't you both consent to an order that prohibits any contact whatsoever, either by mail, by telephone, by text message, by any form of communication that we know of in modern electronics?
I had reported her to her work to get her
Your
to
case
quit.
is dismissed, madam. You have no case. I mean, I ask you a question, you go back into history. I asked you, are you prepared to enter into an order that says, I will have no contact with the second Mrs. Roscoe, either in person, by mail, by telephone, telegraph, pigeon?
Yes.
Or whatever.
I've tried to obtain
Are you
one.
prepared to enter into such an order?
You bet you, ma'am.
Very good. I'll have somebody prepare it back there. Thank you very much. That's all.
Diane Cowan is suing her son, 23-year-old Kenneth Cowan Jr., for car payments and for stealing her tax refund from their shared bank account.
Mrs. Cowan, this is your son. Your lawsuit claims 2 things. First, that you had an arrangement with your son wherein he would use your car and make the payments on it while he was using it until he purchased his own car. You claim that with regard to that portion of your complaint, he did make some payments, didn't pay them all, and ultimately you sent somebody down, your fiancé?
Yes.
Down to pick up the car because he had moved to a different state. So you want him to pay some $1,000 that he should have paid on the car. The second part of your complaint, which I really believe, based upon what I read, is what you're complaining about. You just tacked on, is that you and your son shared a joint bank account. At some point, he withdrew $2,000 from that joint bank account. And he withdrew that money, which was from your tax refund, because you claimed him as a dependent for last year. And he says he's entitled to that money because he was going to file his own tax return as a single individual. But since you had already claimed him as a dependent, he couldn't claim himself. So he took the $2,000 because he said you weren't entitled to it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I correct, Ms. Cowan, that but for the withdrawal from the bank, we wouldn't be bothering with any money he might owe on the car?
No, we had made a verbal agreement, and I told him that once he took the vehicle to Texas, that he would be responsible for the payments.
Did you have that agreement with your mother?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Fine. At that time, were you going to school, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you also working?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you working full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Who was supporting you?
I was on academic scholarship and receiving money from Pell Grants.
Did your mother send you any money?
She may have given me a total of $500.
Okay. Is it correct, Ms. Cowan, that for the year 2004, your son was basically self-supporting?
No.
Well, how did you support him?
Okay, by me being a disabled veteran, it took care of his 2 years of college.
Just a second.
Okay.
You're being a disabled veteran and the government picking up part of his tuition means that we supported him, not you. Is it true that he was either self-supporting or on scholarships and or Pell Grants that he's going to have to return?
Yeah, he was on Pell Grants, but I supported him as far as sending monies for groceries or if he ran short.
How much money did you send him for the year 2004?
I would say over $2,000.
Show me.
I don't have it as far as monetary back. Most of the time, I would always deposit it in my account because we shared account.
Can
I
see
have
the-
bank statements showing to where there were deposits made on the account, and these are the only cash deposits on the account are ones that I made.
How many times did you withdraw money from this account, Mr. Cowan?
Very rare, maybe once a semester, if that.
So this was primarily your bank account, that you used this bank account to pay your bills?
Yes.
Okay. You have a copy of your tax returns from last year, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My W-2s and my tax return.
So you had an adjusted gross income of a little over $5,600.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your statement, if I believed you, which I don't, at most you sent your son $2,000.
Right.
Then you are not entitled to claim him as a deduction because you didn't contribute more than 50% of his support. You were not entitled to claim him as a deduction.
Yes, but according to VA, if I had not claimed him as a dependent, then they would not have taken care of his bills. You know, I'm not a...
Just a second. Let us say that because of some regulation, you were required to claim him as a dependent, even though you did not contribute more than 50% of his support. Let's say that that's true. Then what you should have done was discuss it with your son and say, listen, for the purposes of the VA, so that you can continue to have all your classes covered or whatever percentage the VA covers, I have to claim you as a dependent. But I'm going to give you the $2,000. What would have been wrong with that?
Well, I agreed to that. And
so then why are you complaining that he took the $2,000 out of your account?
Because it was the procedures that he took. Now, he know normally there has not denied him of anything.
So you didn't like the fact that he did it in a sneaky way?
That's right.
Okay. She says she didn't like the idea that you were sneaky about it. Well, I think, Ms. Cowan, one of the reasons he might have been sneaky about it was because when he filed his tax returns, he filed them as an independent, and then he was told later that he was denied his refund because you had already claimed him as a dependent. Had your mother discussed the fact that she was going to claim you?
She had said she was going to try to claim me to recoup some money that I hadn't paid her on a car payment. She told this to my uncle.
Oh, well, I don't want to hear about the car payment. Listen to me, Ms. Cowan. As far as I'm concerned, you've got a son that's doing the right thing. If you had a car and you let him take the car so that he could go to school and look for a job, that's what you're supposed to do. You're his mother. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
Okay, well, it seems to me this one is doing okay, which means that your mother probably did something right.
Yes, ma'am.
Should have done the right thing. Shouldn't have made this situation so mucky. Ms. Cowan, irrespective of what he did, you're still his mother, and I sometimes wonder whether I would have, I don't have to wonder, I would not have pursued this matter in court. I would have said to him, it's not the right thing to do. What's your first name?
Kenneth.
It's not the right thing to do, Kenneth. You shouldn't have gone behind my back and taken the $2,000 out of the account. I was prepared to give it to you, but you shouldn't have just taken it. I'm not so sure that you were prepared to give it to him, because according to you, he owed you some money on this car nonsense. Can't tell you how many cars I bought my children. If you had not claimed your son as a dependent, what would have been your refund?
I would have gotten $1,913 from that.
And how much would you actually get?
$29.13.
Yes, sir.
When I asked my mother for her tax return, I was going to return whatever she didn't get for claiming me. She sent me a tax return that said she only got $300 for me, which was false.
But she got $1,000 for you.
Right.
Is that what you want, sir?
Yes.
Then you have to give your mother back $1,000 because you took out $2,000 from her account.
No, I was supposed to get $2,000 back, and I was
Listen to me. What your mother is saying is she was required by the VA to claim you as a dependent in order for you to get certain benefits. So although if you filed for yourself as an independent, you would have gotten $2,000, if she didn't file for you as a dependent of hers, you wouldn't have gotten other benefits which far outweighed that $2,000. Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
So that you should not have taken out the $2,000 from the account because all she got, by virtue of her claiming you as a dependent, was an extra $1,000. So that's all you were entitled to. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Diana Galarzo says her fiancé's estranged wife, Myrna Cosio, owes for burning a graduation dress she bought for her daughter. Diana also says Myrna started an argument at the ceremony.
Ms. Cosio, you are currently separated from your husband. Is that right? You've
Yes.
been separated for about 3 years. Is he here today?
Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.
And according to your answer in this case, you separated from him because he was a drinking problem.
Yes.
That's why you separated.
Yes.
You filed for divorce.
He did.
He did in December.
Yes.
And hopefully that divorce will be finalized soon. The two of you have 2 children.
Correct.
The plaintiff is his fiancé.
Correct.
And you've been together for about a year.
Yes.
And you're planning to be married as soon as the divorce is finalized.
That's correct.
Do you live together?
Yes, we do.
How long have you been living together?
For about 8 months.
According to your complaint, you gave one of the girls, one of their daughters, who was graduating from elementary school,
Yes, that's correct.
3 outfits. And according to you, Ms. Casio destroyed those outfits. She was annoyed at something. And then later at the graduation made a terrible scene at the graduation,
Yes.
which embarrassed and humiliated you. Ms. Casio says that the outfits weren't destroyed, and she says that you had no business being at the graduation. You should have stayed home. She told her separated husband that he shouldn't bring you, and he defied her and brought you, and that's what caused the incident at the graduation. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, let me straighten you out on that score because that's freshest in my mind. You have no business telling him who he can bring to his daughter's graduation. This child has two parents, and you're no more of a parent than her father is. You don't have any right to tell him who he can bring to the graduation and who he cannot. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
So what do you think gave you the right to tell your husband not to bring her to the graduation?
I didn't tell my husband, I told my daughter.
Ugh, that's even worse. That you told your daughter to tell her father that he should leave her home? Is that what you did?
Exactly, that's what I did. Judge.
You're outrageous. That's an outrageous thing to do on many fronts. First of all, you never use a child to transmit messages from one parent to another. Certainly nothing negative. If you want to say, listen, would you like to come to my house for a graduation party? That's a nice thing. But you never use a child as a telephone to transmit a negative message from one parent to another. That makes you a bad mother. You don't want to be a bad mother, do you?
No.
Well, I'm telling you that was something that only a bad mother would do. So I would rethink that. Having said that, you have no business directing what goes on at your daughter's graduation. It's not your graduation. It's your daughter's graduation. And unless your daughter doesn't want her for some reason, she should be there. She's part of her life. You may not like it. That comes under the category of too bad. You got to get used to it. You got it?
Yes.
You have any questions for me?
Nope.
Good. Now, what kind of a scene did you make at graduation?
I didn't make no scene.
What did she do at graduation?
Your Honor, I have a video cassette of her behavior.
I'd like to see it.
It's right here. And I have never met her, and why she acted this way and insulted me in front of everyone and made a scene, especially Erica started crying. The other daughter with her 3 infant, you know.
Excuse me? What did you call me? What did you call me?
Mom, that's what I told you.
Why?
Stupid. Because you are. It's Erica's
graduation. Why? You need God. You need God in your life.
Really?
Yes.
Mom, stop.
Yes. You do. I've never done anything to you.
Why did you call her? Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Why did you call her a name?
Because I was upset that she was there at my daughter's graduation, Judge.
You owe her an apology. Your behavior was outrageous. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't decide that you're going to change your way of doing business, you're going to lose custody of your daughters. I'm telling you that. I'm an old family court judge. And I'm telling you that if you're going to put your daughters in between their parents, and if you're going to behave in an irrational way, you will eventually lose custody of your girls because they will say, I don't want to live with my mother. She's a nut. Now, what did you do with the outfits that she brought for your daughter? And I better get a truthful answer, otherwise I'm going to have to embarrass you and bring your daughter here. So I want you to tell me what you did with the 3 outfits.
I didn't do anything.
Where are they?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Your Honor, I have a recording of the daughter on June 24th where she called my cell phone and pictures of my outfits burned.
I'd like to see them, please. Where were these pictures taken?
Apparently, she burned them, and either she walked into my property or threw them right next to my truck, keyed my car, and I have a police report.
Oh, well, she's crazy. Sir, I think that you ought to go into court and seek custody of your daughters. I wouldn't let my daughter stay with her. There's something badly wrong with her. Mr. Casio, step up. Step up, sir.
Yes, Your
Listen
Honor.
to me very carefully. How old are your daughters?
12 and 16.
Well, the 16-year-old daughter is going to tell you where she wants to live.
Okay.
And unfortunately for her, she probably will say, I have to stay with my mother because I feel sorry for her. But certainly, if her behavior continues to be so irrational, you might find it in your 12-year-old's best interest to pursue custody of that child because somebody who behaves in this fashion is not capable of taking care of a child.
I agree.
That's my judgment. Now, 12-year-old probably is not in physical harm in her custody, but she certainly is emotionally in danger, being with somebody who has so much anger. Who are you?
I'm her friend.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, totally.
Is there anything that I said that you find wrong?
Not anything you said, but things she said.
Anything I said?
Not a thing that you've said.
That's all? I said anybody who behaves this way for no reason, who can do this, who uses their child as a messenger for hateful messages, is a bad mother. Because a good mother doesn't do that. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I was spending the night before the graduation at Myrna's house to go to the graduation, and I
Just a minute. You're her friend and you were going to graduation?
Yes.
What gives you the right to go to graduation as a friend?
Because her daughters like me.
What gives you the right as a friend to go to their graduation? Because their mother invited you?
Yes.
That's why she was there. Now let me ask you this question. Would you believe that he was acting like a nut if he came up to you and called you vile and vicious names and told you to get out because he didn't want you at the graduation? Would you think he was acting like a lunatic?
Not necessarily.
Well, what would you think of his behavior?
Listen, if I had been told prior to coming that I wasn't wanted there by my daughter calling.
Just a second. Erica, her daughter did not say, I don't want you to come to graduation. Now listen to me very carefully, madam. She said, I told my daughter I didn't want her at the graduation. That's what she said.
Oh, let's bring Erica.
I'm not going to do that because that's what a bad mother would do.
She's not asking to bring Erica. I am.
I'm telling you, she didn't turn around and say to you, oh, I wouldn't do that to my daughter. She's a bad mother. She's so full of anger and hate in her heart that it obscures her judgment as far as being a good mother. And she better change, otherwise her daughters will grow up to hate her. They will hate her.
And as far as her going over there and doing whatever she claims she did, it didn't happen because I was with her.
I'd like to hear what the child said on the answering machine. Could you bring it up here, Bert, so I can listen to it?
Go ahead, press a little bit. That's a message she left on my cell phone at 6:20.
My mom is burning your clothes. You think your daughter was lying when she said, my mom is burning your clothes?
We had an argument that morning, Your Honor.
So you just think it's serendipity that your daughter calls and says, my mom is burning your clothes, and the clothes turned up burned in front of her house. You think that those two things just came aligned in this universe? You better go see a good therapist, madam. You need a good therapist. Do you work?
Yes, I do work.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm a phlebotomist.
Better spend a little more time at work and a little less time hating. Spend a little less time hating. It didn't work out. 52% of the marriages in this country don't work out. She didn't steal him away from you. You threw him out. That's what you told me. You said you didn't like the way he behaved, so you threw him out. She found him. You should be grateful.
She can keep him.
Listen to me. That's right. You should be grateful instead of having a heart full of anger. Believe me, if you have a heart full of anger, you're never going to find anybody, madam. Okay. Nobody wants somebody who's miserable and angry. You'll spend the rest of your life alone. How much did you spend for the outfits?
I have the receipts here.
Just tell me how much you spent for the outfits.
180.
Now I'll take the receipts, Bird.
Plus pain and suffering and...
You don't get pain and suffering.
Loss of work and...
Listen to me very carefully, Ms. Galazzo.
Yes.
What you wanted was for her to learn a lesson. I don't know whether her ears were open. If they were, fine. If not, she's going to be the loser, as are her two children. She's responsible for the burnt clothes because she burned them. Her bad behavior has just been memorialized in front of 10 million people. Unless she changes her course of conduct, she's already been pre-warned that her children are going to grow up hating her. You can either put a period and move on and say, I had a marriage, it didn't work out. But out of this marriage came two lovely children, just listen to me carefully, and then try to put yourself on some medication maybe, if you don't already take it. I have two beautiful children. I want to devote myself to them and to making myself a happy life. And I don't want to be angry with somebody who's taking a burden off my shoulders. And you don't control what happens with your girls, because your girls have two parents. And you won't have them at all in your life if what you continue to do is to disrespect their father. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $180. That's all.
19-year-old Danielle Gage is suing her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old John Cowie, for several unpaid loans and for the cost to move after they broke up.
How old are you, Miss Gage?
19.
How old are you, Mr. Cowie?
25.
Ms. Gage, it is your claim that you made a couple of loans to Mr. Cowie while you were dating.
Correct.
How old were you when you met him?
When I met him, I was 17.
When's your birthday?
In May.
And how old were you, Mr. Cowie, when you met?
23.
Were you working?
Yes, sir. Or ma'am, sorry.
What were you doing?
I was manager at a Subway restaurant.
What are you doing?
I'm a pharmacy tech.
Do you claim you made your first loan to Mr. Cowie?
The first loan was made in September of 06, but he had paid that back to me. The second loan came in February of 07.
What was the second loan for?
I was informed by the defendant that his tires had been slashed at work and he had no transportation to get to work.
And?
And we talked about it. He said that he would give me the money when his first paycheck came in after the loan had occurred.
Why didn't he pay for his own tires?
Because he said he didn't have any money. He had just paid rent and car insurance and a payment on a car.
Where were you living at the time?
I was in my own apartment in Boise.
So you had rent too?
I did.
And you had a car payment?
My car's fully paid off.
Had insurance?
I did have insurance, yes.
So?
Okay, at the time my tires were slashed, was a little stressed, was up to my eyeballs in debt, trying to figure out how I was going to cover it. She met us, me and a friend of mine, at a local bar. We were trying to discuss how we were going to solve the problem. And
well, it's your problem.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. She showed up. We were actually in a relatively serious point in our relationship, looking at the potential of moving in together, even getting married. And she says, don't worry about it. We'll solve it. Here you go. Let's go get the tires.
And what did you say?
I felt about 2 inches tall, taking money from a girlfriend.
So if you felt 2 inches tall, you probably said to her, I'll pay you back.
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you did. Because if what you said was, I felt about 2 inches tall because I was really stressed, then you would have said to her, if you were talking serious and marriage to her, you wouldn't want her to think that you were just a bloodsucker. You would have wanted her to think you were a person of character, so you would have said, as soon as I can, I'll pay you back.
We were at a point in our
relationship. And you had paid her back another loan.
Yes, ma'am, earlier in the relationship. We were at a point in the relationship where we were looking at the potential of even joining bank accounts.
Yeah, but you were smart enough not to do that with her.
Yeah,
or she
things
was
fell
smart
apart
enough not
shortly
to do
after.
that with you.
I would say it was probably a mutual road. Yes, ma'am.
Good. So how much were your tires?
$400.
That you owe her. Did you pay her back?
No, I didn't.
What else?
I just wanted to point out that the only time I've ever been in a bar with the defendant is when we went to play pool, and it was not of hours of drinking. When he told me that the tires were slashed, it was in a text message, and I was at school. I also would like to point out that we had never talked about joining bank accounts. Never. Good. I actually have a check that my bank returned to me. He claims that he did not pay for that $400. He paid me a check on the 6/28/07 of $200. That went through my bank account, and then within the week was withdrawn because there was a stop payment put on the check.
What was this for, Mr. Cowie?
To shut her up. I was getting constant phone calls berating vindictive ex-girlfriend, you owe me money, you owe me money.
So you gave her a check and then you stopped payment on it?
I realized I didn't have the money in the account to cover the check, so I stopped the payment on it.
Okay. What else does he owe you money for?
I took a withdrawal out at an ATM machine for $20 so him and his buddy Russell could go to fishing. I also have moving expenses that I would like to sue for.
What kind of moving expenses?
Even though I was not living with the defendant, I was living relatively close to the defendant. With my past history and all of the emotion and anger, and when a guy gets angry, I get very scared. I specifically told him, don't come around, I don't want to see you.
Put your hand down.
And
Miss Gage, listen to me. That part of your claim is not actionable. Okay. What you're really saying is you have a history, and based on your history, you reacted to whatever angry messages he was leaving, so you moved. That is not actionable. But certainly the money that he owes you for the tires is actionable.
He was making sure that he was playing upon the fact that she had been abused.
I don't have to go into that. It's absolutely not necessary. Sit down. That part of her claim is not actionable. She doesn't have to discuss it with me. The fact that she chose to move because they were living too close to each other for her comfort is probably a smart thing, but she had to make it within her comfort zone, which she did based upon her history, which is not his problem. You ever get a restraining order against him?
I did not.
Good. He owes you for the tires, $400. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you.
Jenny Rose says ex-roommate Sheena Mashoud owes for the return of rent and a security deposit. Jenny also claims Sheena slandered her via the internet.
Miss Rose, you rented a room from the defendant, and according to your complaint, you were forced to move out early.
Yes.
You want prorated rent.
Yes.
You certainly want your security deposit back. And you want compensation for what you say were very nasty things that the defendant posted about you on the internet.
That's correct.
The defendant says that you chose to move out. You don't get compensated for choosing to leave before the end of the 30 days. That your cat did some damage to the rug, so you don't get your security back. And she acknowledges she wrote nasty things about you on the internet, but she said everything she wrote about you was the truth, and the truth is a perfect defense.
True.
When did you move into this room, Ms. Rose?
On May 1st, on April 22nd, I answered an ad.
Do you recall what it said?
It said that I was going to be a roommate, that it was $400 for the rent, that she had 3 cats, and 1 more would be great. And
no, just a second. That's not what the ad said.
Yes, it did. It said she had 3 cats and 1 more would be great.
Oh, that's what the ad said?
Yes.
It must be a very long ad. Where was it?
Craigslist.com.
.org. .org. Correction. Tell me what happened when you went and looked in the house.
It was 11 o'clock at night. She said that it was dirty, but she would clean it, and that the hot water in the sink was broken, the pipe, but she would fix it before I moved in, and the toilet that I was renting out with the bathroom was broken as well, but that would be fixed as well.
How many rooms did you look at?
3 different rooms, and this is the one that I chose.
This is the one that had a broken sink, a broken toilet, and was filthy. Is the one that you chose, Miss Rose?
Actually, it was the rent. It was cheaper than normal. Others were asking for $650, so I figured I was only going to be here till the summer. It should not be an issue.
Was the toilet fixed?
No, the toilet was never fixed, and neither was the hot water, which I had to eat out because I couldn't wash dishes. There were maggots in the sink. There were roaches, flies.
Who else lived in the house?
It was supposed to be just myself and Sheena, and she brought her crackhead mother in, who has no teeth and has tattoos everywhere, who she failed to mention was an ex-convict who had been in jail for 12 years for a violent crime. Not only that, but...
Just a second. When you moved in May 1st, was her mother there?
No, her mother was not there.
When did her mother move in?
Her mother started coming by in the middle of May and started hanging out, bringing her other crackhead friends who had no teeth.
I'm a dentist's daughter. Let's not talk about the teeth. Let's talk about the drugs. Okay. What makes you think that she was using crack?
Because I came home the night before I moved out, and her friend were smoking crack in the living room.
That would give me a clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your mother incarcerated for, Miss Michoud?
I believe it was theft, and she violated her parole several times.
She violated her parole because of her drug use?
No, it had to do with the fact that she wasn't seeing her probation officer like she was supposed to when she was released early.
Listen, if you're released early and you want to stay out of jail, unless you're involved with drugs, you usually see a probation officer.
Well, actually, the problem was that she moved back to Colorado without asking her probation officer, and she stayed out there for 3 years.
Well, that would be a problem.
Yes, obviously, as the rule was that she was supposed to keep in contact.
How long was she incarcerated?
I'm not sure. I never lived with my mom as a child, so.
When was she released from prison?
At least 5 years ago.
How come she started to come to your house?
Because I previously, before she had ever moved in, had paid my mom to come to my house to clean my apartment because I work 18-hour days. I have 2 different jobs. I work a bar job at night, and during the day I'm a special effects makeup artist. I work very hard, and I don't have time to spend, even if it is 4 hours that I get to sleep, to spend cleaning up my apartment.
You mean there's nobody else that could clean your apartment other than your mother?
Well, I don't trust anybody else to come into my apartment because I have many things that are worth a lot of money.
So what you're telling me is you trust your mother?
Yes, I do.
The mother who she says, and I believe her,
yes,
invited somebody into your home and they were smoking dope in your house.
Nobody else other than my mom was invited into my home.
Well, she did. Bring somebody else into your home.
I had never seen the person.
Well, I'm telling you, she did. She did, so your judgment wasn't very good. In choosing your mother, listen to me, your judgment wasn't very good in choosing your mother to clean your house.
I believe my judgment was just fine. Aside from the fact that she had been incarcerated before, it doesn't mean that she would do anything like that again.
Well, she brought somebody, listen to me, she brought somebody into your house and they were smoking dope in your house.
I'm glad you believe her, but I don't know that that's true. I know that my mom has not been on drugs for many years. I know that she does have permanent psychosis because of doing drugs for many years, and that is true. But she's not a current drug user. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring her into my house because I wouldn't trust her around my stuff personally.
Ms. Michoud, that's your problem. You want to have this unabiding faith in your mother with whom you say you never resided when you were growing up, who was incarcerated most of that time. That's up to you. I absolutely, 100% believe her when she says that she came home the day before she moved out and your mother was in the house smoking dope, which, as far as I'm concerned, gives her the right to leave in the middle of the month.
Well,
I'm speaking. What day of the month did you move out?
It was the 18th.
So you want prorated rent for the 12 days that you weren't there?
That's correct.
Okay, and how much does that come to?
$146.50.
My mother had not moved in at that point. She was a guest of mine.
Excuse me?
Shh. Listen to me. She doesn't, listen to me very carefully, Miss Michoud. She doesn't, Try to listen. I know you've got a lot going on in your hair and your face, everything else, but try to pay attention. She doesn't have to live in your house. You have invited a guest into your home, your mother, who is involved in behavior that I believe could have endangered someone else who was living in the house. If the police had come to your house and found your mother and someone else in possession of crack cocaine in your house, everyone in the house would have been involved in that drug sweep. So she was very smart to move out. And since you have acknowledged that you invited your mother into the house for the purposes of cleaning, you can't say she had no right to move. She did have a right to move. And since you invited this problem into your house, you have to compensate her for the 12 days in rent that she did not have use and enjoyment of her room. Well, that's my ruling. You may not like it. That's why you go to
her boyfriend.
That's
is a
why
speed addict,
I'm speaking.
And he's in
listen,
my, and he
listen
was
to
staying
me.
in my house.
Listen to me very
For
carefully.
the whole time she was there.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. I don't know where else you work or what else you do to enhance your senses, but in my courtroom, I speak, I listen.
Obviously, you don't listen very well.
No, I'm listening. You're not hearing what I'm saying because you don't like the answer. How much is your security?
$200. I have a copy of the sublease as well.
Can I see it, please?
And I have a copy of the letter she told me to vacate immediately.
Okay.
She wanted me to pay for her mother's rent for the next month.
Listen. Did you write this letter? There will be a $500 rent increase for your bedroom and private bathroom starting July 1st. Did you write this?
Yes, that's what
All right, good.
told me to do.
$146.50 and $200 for your security deposit. Do you have any pictures of the ruined rug that was allegedly caused by her cats?
No, but
Good. Now I would like to see what was written on the internet.
This is a networking site that my coworkers, my supervisors and boss, as well as my family and friends read. I was contacted by one of my coworkers.
Well, the one thing I do know for sure, Miss Michoud, is that you have a filthy mouth.
Thank you.
And I assume that you work in this town?
Yes, I do.
Good. I certainly hope that enough people, since we do have a reasonable audience in this town, watch this and know that I personally am offended that a woman would use the kind of vulgarities that you do written. I don't think, quite frankly, Miss Rose, that any fair-minded, reasonable person would accept anything that you wrote here as true.
Oh, of course not.
Because she clearly is a demented, sick girl. I don't know how she finds work in this town, but clearly there are a lot of demented, sick people who want demented, sick employees. That's the problem here sometimes. I can't judge that. Clearly, this is miserable. I'm not going to ask her how she's going to establish to my satisfaction that you committed the kinds of sex acts that she attributes to you, because certainly you don't want that, and I wouldn't, because it's really unseemly. Suffice, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Am I going to speak at all this?
No, go speak outside. Somebody who wants to hear you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $346.50. Thank you.
Toodles.
23-year-old Patricia Serrano is suing her former friend, Elda Lugo, for a $3,500 loan plus interest. Elda claims Patricia gave her the money from a large settlement.
Ms. Serrano, according to your complaint, the defendant is a friend of yours from high school. She ran into some financial difficulty some time ago and approached you about lending her some money.
Yes, sir.
You were a good friend. You lent her the money, $3,500. She didn't pay you back. You want your money back.
Yes.
Ms. Lugo says that you were a good friend to her. You gave her $3,500. You would come into some money. There was never any discussion of payback. As far as she was concerned, it was a gift.
That's true. Differ.
When did you graduate from high school, Ms. Lugo?
In June of 2001.
And between June of 2001 and the date of this loan or gift, which was on what date?
Last year, around August or July.
How often did you see each other?
After high school, we didn't see each other because we stopped being friends. And after she had a really bad car accident, her mom came and I started being her friend again. That's when we started.
What year?
I honestly do not recall what year she had a car accident.
What year?
It was in 2002, Your Honor.
Now, tell me about the day you approached Ms. Serrano with your money troubles.
I did not approach her. I was just telling her my problems that I had with my family.
Shh, I don't. Listen, if you interrupt again, I'm going to dismiss your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just told her I was having really hard times with my parents. I was having a lot of financial problems.
What kind of financial problems were you having, Miss Lugo?
My mom stopped making the payments, so they took my car from me.
How old are you?
23.
Why was your mother making your car payments for you?
Because we're both on the loan, and I was giving her the money. She was making the payments out of her account.
Who were you working for at the time?
Bay City's National Bank.
So why weren't you paying the money directly?
Because that was just an arrangement that I had with my mom.
Your money?
I'm not saying she stole the money. I'm just saying that she wasn't making the payments, and they took the car from me.
So you're saying that if you gave your mother the money and your mother wasn't making the car payments,
She was using it for something else.
that she stole your money?
I guess.
And you told Ms. Serrano that your mother stole your money and they repossessed your car?
I told Patricia the problems that I was having with my parents and why they took my car from me.
Miss Lugo, I don't hear that that's a problem that you're having with your parents. If I believe what you're telling me, which I don't, you're telling me that your mother stole the money that you were giving her for your car loan and using it for her own purposes, and therefore they repossessed your car and you wanted to get it back.
Right.
Now, is that what you want me to believe?
That's the truth. That's exactly how everything's
When did you
always
move
been.
out of your mother's house?
Early September.
So you stayed in your mother's house another year after she stole your money?
Actually,
see where I'm going? So you had more financial difficulties than just this alleged theft by your mother of your money.
I couldn't just leave my house and just leave everything, like all my parents and my sisters behind.
Well, if I were living with somebody that stole my money and as a result of that my car was repossessed, I certainly wouldn't live there.
In June, I actually drove to Vegas, and I was going to move over there with my cousin.
That's June 2006. We're still talking about 10 months that you were living with your mother, the thief, if I believe you. Which
Right,
I
I really didn't have a choice. I mean,
Okay, you're 23 years old. You always have a choice. Okay, now I'm going to get to you, Miss Serrano. Now that I'm getting the personalities in order.
Yes.
Tell me what happened when she approached you in August of 2005 about this money.
Well, she told me the story that her car had gotten repossessed.
Did she tell you how it got repossessed?
Well, she didn't give me a straight answer. I never really did get straight answers from her.
That's a lie.
Don't interrupt. Go ahead.
You know, she came to me, she said, Patty, I haven't been able to make the payments. My mom and my dad aren't helping me out. I just don't have anywhere else to go to for money.
That's not true.
And I said, well, if you need help, feel free to come to me. She said, well, thank you so much. And a couple of days later, she came to me. She said, Patty, I need to take you up on your offer. Can you lend me $3,500? And I said, sure thing, I'll write you a check. And I'm not too sure if it was a day or two later that she said, it's too much trouble to go about, you know, with the check. I can't cash it. She even told me that her mom had found the check and was questioning her about the check.
That's not true.
Why, you know, why I was giving her a check for $3,500. And she said, well, I'll give you back the check, and can you please give me $3,500 in cash? I said, wow, you know, I'm like, okay, let me see what I can work out. And I went to the bank, withdrew $3,500 cash.
Let me see from your bank.
Yeah, it's right here. It's highlighted in yellow.
Where did you get all this money from?
I was involved in a very serious car accident in 2002, and I got a small settlement out of it.
A large settlement.
Oh, that's interesting, Miss Lugo. Did you say a large settlement? How large?
I don't know.
When you said it was a large settlement, you must know something about the settlement.
That's all she would always say. She got a large settlement. I never wanted to ask
I never
how much.
told you anything.
Shh. When did she tell you about this large settlement?
After she was recovering from her injuries.
When did you get the settlement?
Sometime in 2004.
You still have any of the money left?
Yes, I do. Some in investments.
Good. So you gave her $3,500 in cash.
Yes.
And what was the arrangement about paying you back?
She said, okay, Patty, you know I wouldn't have done this if I really didn't need it. Believe me, I'm going to have this money to you tops the end of the year when I get my bonus from the bank.
That's not true.
So I said, okay, you know what?
What part of keep quiet don't you understand?
I didn't see the money. She said, well, you know, I just need a couple of more months, whatever. And I said, okay, you know, just don't forget about it. You know, I'm being your friend here.
When for the first time, Miss Lugo, did the plaintiff ask for this money back?
Early September.
That's a lie.
So, what part don't you understand?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Tell me about the conversation when she asked you for the money back.
She started calling me at work, and she started emailing me at work.
What would she say when she called?
She was just calling me, telling me that she needed to meet me somewhere.
When did she, for the first time, ask you for the money back? Answer my question.
I believe her first email was September 7th.
That's not true.
Shh. Next time you're gone. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I assume you want me to consider giving you your money back.
Yes, please.
Then don't do it again. September 6th. And what did she say in the email? Do you have a copy of that email?
No, I don't.
Do you have a copy of the email?
Yes.
I want to see the email from September 6th.
She emailed me a promissory note that she wanted me to sign, that she saying that I owed her the money because.
Shh. Well, you emailed her and you said to her that you planned on giving her the money.
Yeah, she was calling me at work nonstop, and she was just harassing me.
No, this has nothing to do with a response to harassment.
That's only the email that she gave you, but she didn't tell you about the phone calls that she was making to work.
I just want to see the emails. This is Wednesday, September 6th, and it's a lovely email. Absolutely lovely. You're happy for her. You're happy that she's happy. Hey, I'm not sure what's gone wrong between us again, but I really appreciate everything you have done for me and the times you've been there for me. I guess we are once again going our own separate roads. If it's the money thing, it's stopping you, don't worry. I will give it to you. Do me a favor. Please do not email me at the bank. I get in trouble for receiving personal emails.
My manager talked to me and she was telling me that I was receiving too many personal emails. She emailed me.
Listen to me. She wants her money back.
Yeah, after she was trying to get with my boyfriend, she was trying to hook up with my boyfriend, and I confronted her about it. Until then is when she came back and wanted me to sign a promissory note and said that the gift that she gave me for $3,500 was then a loan.
I don't see why somebody who doesn't look like they're rolling in dough would give you $3,500 and not expect to be repaid at some point. Not necessarily in a week, not necessarily in a month or 6 months or even a year. But someday, within a reasonable period of time, when you got your act together, if you ever get your act together, she expected her money back. And to stand there at this point and say, well, she tried to get over on my boyfriend, and that wasn't right, and therefore I'm not paying her a dime, that's the wrong thing to do. It's not the moral thing to do. You want to end a relationship with her? Terrific. Do it. You're not friends anymore? You don't want to be friends anymore? Fine. But she was there for you when you needed her, and you're supposed to do the moral right thing and pay her her money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's all.
23-year-old Lisa Murray is suing her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Ish Easton, for the cost of a plane ticket to New Jersey. Ish claims Lisa is being vindictive.
Miss Murray, Mr. Easton and you dated briefly, according to your complaint, and you believe he owes you for an airline ticket that you purchased for him in order that the two of you go home to meet the parents. And then you broke up for the trip. Mr. Easton says that the going home to meet the parents was strictly your idea. He never asked you to buy the ticket. You bought it on your own, so you pay for it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you meet him?
February 2006. We were working together.
And when did you start dating?
We started dating in the beginning of June 2006.
And when did you want to go and introduce him to your family?
Through the month of June, or in the beginning of July 2006, our relationship became serious.
No. You're talking so fast I can hardly understand you. I asked you a simple question. When did you want to take him home to meet your parents?
July 2006.
After 4 weeks? Why?
Well, I had missed my family very much, and he also said that he would like to go. He was excited about going to see New York City and seeing New Jersey.
If he was so excited, why didn't he buy his own ticket?
He currently did not have the money at the time, nor did he have a credit card.
What was the arrangement that you made with him?
That when we came back from our trip, that he would be reimbursing me.
And when did you break up?
September.
And when were you supposed to go to New York?
September 9th, 2006.
I'll hear you.
After she had initially brought the idea to go visit her parents, I told her then, I was like, well, I don't have money.
No, look at me.
Oh, I told her then, I don't have money to pay you back for any kind of ticket before we even discussed repaying anything.
Why would you say that to her? I thought you met at work.
This is after we started dating, man.
No, listen to me. You're not listening. You don't have your listening ears on. You said, I don't have any money. And she just told me that you met at work in February of 2006. What kind of work were you doing?
I, at the time, was working at Home Depot, man.
And in July, where were you working?
I worked for a structural engineering firm.
And in August?
Still work there, man.
Okay, so you were working, you were employed.
Yes.
Do you have children?
No, before dating Miss Murray, I was in a previous relationship. Separating from that relationship, I had to move back home, but upon moving back home, my parents were like, well, you gotta help pay bills and stuff like that, so I pay half of everything.
So?
Leaving pretty much nothing.
Well, that's not true. You have money to eat out, right?
On occasion, ma'am. And that was money that I was like, Mom, you know, can I borrow $50 to go out, or...
Mr. Easton, when you discussed with Miss Murray going to New York, I don't believe that you said to her, I don't have the money to pay you now, and I'll never have the money to pay you back, because I don't think that under those circumstances she would have continued to see you, because that would have sounded like something a bum would say. I don't have money now, maybe. I'll never have money to pay you back. I wouldn't have taken you to meet my parents. I would have been humiliated to take you. You're a bum. If you say, I'll never have any money to buy an airline ticket for $295. So I don't believe that you said that to her. I believe that you probably said to her, I don't have money to pay for it now. That I believe. Now, when did she buy the ticket?
She called me and was like, I bought tickets to go to New Jersey.
No, you had already discussed it. So don't say it came as a surprise to you.
I don't know.
It didn't come as a surprise.
I don't know the exact date of her.
When did you purchase the tickets?
July 25th, I purchased the tickets. I have phone calls.
Shh. And she told you that she purchased them in July?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And you were working in Home Depot?
I was working at Home Depot and the engineering firm at the same time.
So 2 places?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do with the ticket?
I was unable to refund it because he broke up with me within 24 hours prior to canceling it.
You have the bill?
Yes.
Why did you break up right before you were ready to leave New York, sir?
But there was a span of like 2 weeks where her and I barely ever saw each other. And that was because my work schedule at the engineering firm went from a regular 8-hour day to 9 to 12-hour days. And I didn't have time to see her. It was work, home, work, bed, pretty much.
Okay.
A gentleman that I play football with, his girlfriend and Miss Murray became very good friends, hanging out, had informed me that the plaintiff had gone to MySpace and read a quote that I had written on MySpace. And that was one of the first issues. One of the other issues was
Did you say something not nice about her?
I didn't say anything toward her at all. The quote that I left on my page said, "Due to the pain caused by love, to love I say." And that was nothing toward her previous relationship exactly to that. Then it went from that to she had been saying, "Oh, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money." Well, then my friend's girlfriend is like, "Oh, we went shopping today. And Lisa bought this, and Lisa bought that, and Lisa bought this."
Why does it make any difference to you whether she said, "I don't have money"?
Well, because if you're going to tell me you don't have money, then how are you going to turn around and go shopping?
She wasn't asking for money from you, was she?
Initially broke up with her because she lies. You can't trust a liar. You can trust a thief because you know they're going to steal. You can trust a killer, you know they're going to kill, but you can't trust a liar. I asked her, I said, "Well, did you go on my MySpace page and read that?" She said no. And before that, I said, "Is there anything you want to tell me about that you haven't said to me in the past?" "No, there's nothing I can think of."
You're going to get your $2 back for the ticket. Before you leave, you get down on the floor, on all fours, kiss the ground, and say, "God, thank you for terminating this relationship, because this guy is no good. No bargain, no good, no way. I don't know much about you. I don't know if you're good, but I can tell you right now, he's a bum. He's always going to be a bum, because he makes excuses for what he does that bear no resemblance to reality." That's what he just did. He just gave me a whole cock and bull story. In reality, he probably found somebody else to cover some of his bills. Because when someone is so smitten with a woman, they don't not see them for 2 weeks. They may give up sleeping, but they won't go work, job, work, school, work, and not see the person for whom they have lost their heart. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So he made up a whole big story. Nothing in his story was true. So you're a very lucky girl that you got rid of him, because for somebody who doesn't like lying, he has become very proficient at it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $295. That's all.
Bail bondsman Aaron McAllister says former client Elena Zadevich owes for unpaid bail money.
What were you arrested for, Mr. Zadevich?
I was arrested on false charges of domestic violence that my ex filed against me.
I didn't ask you whether they were true or not true. I asked, what were you arrested for?
I was arrested on allegations of domestic violence.
Was it the first time you were arrested?
Yes.
Look at me. Was
Yes.
it the first time you were arrested? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
Better. When was the first time you were arrested?
Several years ago.
Having nothing to do with domestic violence.
Has something to do with domestic violence.
So you have 2 arrests for domestic violence?
That's correct.
Was it the same complainant in each case?
Different.
Different. Okay. You are a bail bondsman?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is your claim that you received a call from the defendant in jail. You responded. You bailed her out of jail. At her request, she promised to pay for the bond. She did not. You want your money.
Yes.
Defendant says you're a sleazy bail bondsman and she's not paying you.
Correct.
When did you receive the call?
Sometime in the middle of the night from the county jail.
What night? I'm not Karnak. What night
I'm
would you
sorry.
like to tell me it is?
July the 15th.
In the middle of the night. You were home?
Correct. In bed.
How did you get his number?
It was posted on the wall in the county jail.
You have your home number posted in the wall in county jail?
No, ma'am. It's an office number that forwards to my cell phone in the evening and weekends.
I see. I wouldn't think that you'd want your house phone to have a number. Okay. What did the defendant say to you when she called?
That she was in jail and she had to get out. She had to get to work the next morning. If she didn't get out, she would lose her job.
What kind of job do you have?
I'm an executive assistant.
For whom?
For a small media startup.
How long have you had that job?
Close to a year.
10 months?
Something like that.
Where did you work before?
I was managing a medical spa.
Where?
Walnut Creek, California.
Okay. Have any family here?
Just my 2 children.
How old are they?
6 and 2.
They live with you?
Part-time.
Who do they live with the other part of the time?
Well, my son lives with, my daughter part-time lives with her paternal family.
Maternal or paternal?
Paternal.
Paternal. Hmm? So the father's family, father's parents with her grandparents?
No, his brother and his family, they live very close by, about 10-minute drive from where I live, and she's there a lot because I work full-time.
Okay, so you had to get to work at the media startup company when you called him?
Correct.
Did you tell him that you were going to take care of paying his bail?
What happened was I told him that I didn't have any money.
No. When you called him on the phone from jail, you told him I don't have any money?
Correct.
Is that right?
No.
Of course not.
Right. I wouldn't.
Of course not, because if he'd tell you, please bail me out of jail, but I don't have any money, and he doesn't know you from a hole in the wall, he's not getting out of his warm bed in the middle of the night. Madam.
Well, he did.
No. He did. The question was, did you tell him that you didn't have any money?
Yes, I did.
He says you didn't, and I'm saying I believe him that at that time you didn't tell him I have no money. Because if he's in business and he gets a call from a stranger, you are a stranger, right?
Correct.
That I want you to get up out of bed, drive over to the jail and bail me out. But by the way, I have no money. He'd say, call somebody else.
That's exactly what I said.
All right. I don't believe you. Go ahead.
We discussed that she had a CD, and the CD was maturing within the next 30 days, and that there would be ample
That she would have money.
Correct. In the CD to pay me out of the proceeds of the CD. And she didn't want to cash it in early because she didn't want to pay the penalty. I agreed to those terms within 30 days that she would use the CD.
Was this on the telephone?
That was on the telephone.
Okay. Because you did ask her the question about money.
Correct.
And when you said, do you have money, what did she say?
I have a CD.
Okay. So, did you tell her how much the bail would be?
Correct. 10%, $5,000.
Because she had $50,000 bail?
Correct.
That's a high bail for domestic violence.
It is.
Do you know why it was so high?
That's per the schedule in that county. That's always $50,000 for a felony charge.
It was a felony?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we get her out. We memorialize our agreement in writing. She
Can I
signed
see it,
a
please?
bail contract and the agreement to pay.
Can I see it, please? Okay, so you signed an agreement to pay him the $5,000.
I had no choice. He made me sign it.
But
Madam,
listen to me very carefully, madam. You have a choice. Your choice is to stay in jail until the matter on which you were arrested for is tried. That's your choice. You chose...
We had a different agreement.
No. This is your agreement. This in here is your agreement, in the four corners of this agreement. And what I asked you was, did you sign this agreement? And the answer is either yes or no. Not
yes,
I was forced to sign.
I did sign that agreement, but aside from that, there was an oral agreement that took place between me and Mr. McAllister.
I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Once the agreement's signed, I get her out of jail. She says, now what do I do? I live 30 minutes from here. I agreed to give her a ride. She's worried about getting to work, so I give her a ride. And it's about 30 minutes away. So during that time, she tells me the entire story about the arrest, and I attempt to be understanding that, you know, she was arrested, and I'm sorry, and that's a bad thing, and you're dealing with a breakup, and, you know, how she caught her boyfriend with his new girlfriend laying on the couch that she paid for or she picked out. And the entire time in the car...
Would you look at me when you're telling me this story, Mr. McAllister? Look at me. Don't look down there.
Sorry. The entire time in the car, she says, I'm not a stalker, I'm not a stalker. I go, okay, sorry, you're not a stalker. No problem. Okay, I'll get you to your vehicle. Well, the vehicle's parked 3 blocks away from the house where she was living or where she was arrested. So there's obviously something going on there. Anyway, I get her out, she signs the agreement, and she refuses to pay me.
Just a second. When did she sign the agreement?
Immediately upon release from the county jail.
Okay. And then you drove her to her car.
Correct.
And you dropped her, and she never paid you.
Right. I made
When, for the
repeated-
first time, did you contact her with regard to payment?
Well, within 10 days, we sent her an invoice, just a reminder of the payment terms, and sent her 4 or 5 subsequent invoices that went answered with these rambling letters talking about...
Do you have a copy of the letters?
I do.
Can I see them, please?
Those are her letters to me and then my responses.
Based upon our discussion, these are your words, when he initially asked you for your money. Based upon our discussion, it was my understanding that we would discuss my opportunity to provide some type of service to you and your business in lieu of paying you $5,000 for a relatively risk-free, as you put it, bond. I am still awaiting the opportunity to make good on my offer to work for your company. As you were advised at the time the bond was posted, I have not, or do not have now, $5,000 fee that you are demanding. Given the above-mentioned discussions that we had at the time of the unsecured bond was posted, I now consider your correspondence demanding $5,000 to be intimidating and threatening. What are you, crazy? Please do not send me any more threatening letters. You knew my financial predicament at the time bail was posted. I still intend to honor my promise to perform professional services for you. You never promised to perform professional services for him. Your own letter says, it was my understanding that we would discuss my opportunity to provide some type of service to you or your business in lieu of paying for the bond. Given the above-mentioned discussions that we had at the time, I now consider your... Discussions aren't a contract, madam.
Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah,
Because he's not telling you the whole truth. What happened, he bails me out.
Are you just a second. Are you telling me the whole truth? Listen, are you telling me the whole truth?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
About your children's living arrangements? You're telling me the whole truth?
We're not talking about my children right now. I want
right.
to tell you.
You mean you're telling the truth?
About what
Listen to me.
happened.
You're telling the truth sometimes, and sometimes you can lie. And when am I supposed to tell the difference? You see, I knew that you were lying to me about your children's living situation. That you're not willing to discuss.
What did I lie about?
Listen to me. My question to you is, how am I supposed to tell when you're lying, and how am I supposed to tell when you're telling the truth?
I do tell the truth.
But you just lied to me today.
About what?
You lied about your children's living situation.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
How did I?
Oh, yes, you did. And you know you did. You know that they live with me part-time, they live with some part-time, they live here because I work. It's not the story. But that's a story you chose to tell me. Now, you told me that with the same veracity as you told me that you had another contract with him. And my question to you is, how am I supposed to tell when you're telling the truth and when you're lying?
What I'm saying is the truth.
Okay. Now I'm going to hear you, and then I'll tell you what the law is.
Okay. Well, he bails me out. He drives me to my vehicle. On the way to my vehicle, he makes comments about, and he says, well, it would be nice if a pretty woman like you worked for my company doing some sort of marketing and promoting my company, and maybe we can work something out in terms of paying for the bail bond that he posted on my behalf. So when he dropped me off by my vehicle, and before he left, he made me sign the agreement that you saw after we had the conversation of me potentially working for his company.
Did you get what you said to me, madam? You just said to me, maybe you could work for my company. Maybe you could work for my company. And that's not an agreement.
No,
that's not. No. After that, nothing. You took that, and I believe that you said that to her. Well, maybe you could work for my company and do something. Maybe you said it to her. Who cares? It's not relevant. There was no contract.
I said I couldn't work for him full time as he proposed.
So
he
no,
said,
madam.
We can work something out, and you can work for me on weekends.
Oh, listen to me. Listen to me. You're making it up as you're going along.
No.
Yes.
No, I have
a
letter.
Because according to what you said to me, after you had that discussion, after, not before. You see, he said you signed this at the jail.
No.
You say I signed it after I had the discussion with him about working with him part-time, weekends, etc. If that was true, that's not contained in this agreement.
No.
And I believe, madam, that you are one smart cookie. And if he had this conversation with you where you made a contract with him, a contract that's enforceable, to work off the bail bond by working for him part-time, you would have put it in this agreement because you're already out of jail. You see, you're already out. Because you're already bailed out. So then you could either say to him, I'm not signing this. Or you say, it's not the entire agreement that we have. But you didn't. You signed it and said, I promise to pay you $5,000.
Well, he told me right there that if you don't sign it, I'm just going to put you right back to jail. That's what he told me.
I don't believe you. You're making it up as you're going along.
No.
You're making it up as you're going along because if he said to you, you sign this or I'm going to take you back to jail.
That's what he said.
Your response would have been, well, then put in our agreement that I could work it off, right? Right?
I was very stressed.
Oh, listen, it's not the first time you were arrested.
Signing.
That's why I asked you the question before.
It's
not the first time. It's probably not the second time that you were arrested. So pay him his money. You owe him his money. Don't be a con artist. Judge him for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Dennis Nelson claims his adopted son, Christopher Nelson, illegally sold a Corvette he was allowing him to borrow.
Mr. Nelson, this is your son.
Yes.
You were married to his mother, and did you formally adopt him?
Yes.
And you are now divorced from his mother? When was that divorce?
September.
Of?
06.
According to your complaint, you believe that your son owes you for a car that you gave to him, titled in his name, but with a condition. And the condition was the car would be returned to you if and when he joined the Navy.
He told me he was already signed up for the Navy in January.
Right. So that was the condition that you indicated.
To get him off of a motorcycle that he was riding rather recklessly.
Right. And you said to him, here's a car, putting it in your name. When you go into the Navy, I want you to give it back.
Right.
Did you ever go into the Navy?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson, I read your whole complaint, and your whole complaint has sort of a convoluted story about certain trust that you had in your son to do the right thing. He took the car, he sold it to somebody else, then he took it back, then he sold it to another person. Bottom line is, I read your complaint very carefully, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And your complaint is clear. Even if I believe what you said in your complaint, which was you gave him this car, you transferred the title to him, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
He insured the car himself, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you pay for the insurance yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how long did you drive the car?
Only for a couple months, Your Honor.
Then you sold it and bought something else.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nelson, stop playing with your papers.
Okay.
Because you're not going to understand what I'm saying to you unless you pay attention.
Gotcha.
If I believe what you say in your complaint, you made him a conditional gift. And the condition of that gift was that the car would be returned to you when he entered the Navy. But he has not entered the Navy.
Okay.
So how can you get the car back? Or the value of the car?
Okay.
Do you understand? I know that you're angry with him. I don't know exactly why. Maybe we can resolve that. But the conditional gift that you made to him it becomes a permanent gift if he never joins the Navy. Is it your intention to join the Navy?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
I decided to keep pursuing my medical field that I am now.
And not join the Navy? Okay. Ever? When did you give him the car, Mr. Nelson, just for my own information?
September 27, 06.
And you titled it in that same month. And when did you sell the car, sir?
Down in October, around.
Who'd you sell it to?
I didn't personally meet them. My stepfather actually had it in Desert Hot Springs, and he sold it for me.
To whom did you sell it?
To a private party out of Banning.
How much did you sell it for?
Your Honor, Christopher owed me some money, so he'd gotten another vehicle. So in lieu of the money that he owed me,
what did he owe you money for?
Personal loans.
Explain it to me.
Just everyday living, helping him with insurance, paying for some of his tuitions through furthering his education in the EMS field, things of that nature.
How much did he owe you?
About $4,500. Educations are expensive.
How long have you been married to his mother?
Since July of 06.
You were divorced in September of 06. So how could you be married in July of 06?
It was a typo on the court's behalf, and we're since straightening that out in litigation.
What do you mean you're straightening that out? What does that mean?
Well, what it means is there was a typo that instead of putting a 9 when the divorce would have been finalized, it would look like a 7. So we went forward with the wedding. Come to find out later that it was a typo, so we're in litigation now with the courts to rectify that.
Why don't you just get married again?
We will, sir. Ma'am, when we're done with this. Pardon me.
May I reiterate?
Just a second. So let's assume he owed in the relatively short time that you've been together with his mother. How much did you sell the car for?
That exact amount.
To whom?
I don't know the name of the person. It was I took the car to my place of employment, placed a for sale sign in it, and 5 hours later sold the car. I don't know the name of the people. I really didn't expect this.
A man or a woman?
It was a man for his daughter.
Did you get a check or cash?
I received cash.
Do you know that I don't believe a word that's coming out of your mouth?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That I don't really believe a word that's coming out of your mouth. Do you trust him?
I know it was true.
Well, let me tell you something. Most of what he just told me was not true.
I beg to differ, Your Honor.
Oh,
under this state,
you can do all you like, sir, but I understand.
I just swore between God and this court to tell the truth.
Quiet. I understand why Mr. Nelson is annoyed. The truth of the matter is, he made a conditional gift, and it didn't work out the way he had assumed it was work out. He certainly wasn't giving his son a car to give to you, to give you money. And so I can understand why he's annoyed. I understand why you're annoyed, sir.
Thank you.
Okay?
When I get a chance, I'd like to explain.
Go ahead.
First, the car was stolen from her. She has a judgment on it.
A judgment? What do you mean it was stolen from you?
He sold the car to her, not to him.
Who sold the car to her?
Christopher sold the car to her.
Which is Christopher?
Christopher.
You sold the car to this lady?
For $7,500.
I'm speaking.
No, Your Honor.
You did not.
No, Your Honor.
It's a judgment.
I'd like to explain.
Go ahead.
When I received the car, I heard from a friend that I believe Kelly was looking for a car around $5,000, $7,500 or so. And so me and her were talking and everything, but she only had about $2,500 to give me. I knew she was going through some hard time, so we made a verbal agreement that she was to have possession of the car and I was to retain ownership until final payment. After a couple of weeks, I kept getting the same response that...
How much money did she give you?
She gave me $2,500 as a down payment. And then I was still waiting on $5,000 when she went down to her security lockbox at quote-unquote Pachanga. Well, after many weeks of trying to talk to her and give me the same excuse, it wasn't until after I talked to a lawyer and a detective from the Marietta Police Department about the legal part of it that I was in full right to go and repossess my vehicle.
What'd you do with the $2,500?
She took me to court.
And what happened with it?
I even told her that I would give her the
What
back.
happened with it?
I was unable to attend.
What do you mean you were unable to attend?
I had a class that I was already enrolled in to further my...
Go ahead.
I have a witness in the back.
You didn't know you could have...
For what?
Christopher.
I will testify
To what?
to whatever you want to hear.
Well, I
He'll
don't want to testify to whatever
he
I
will
want to hear.
testify to the fact that he did steal the car. He was paid in
Just
full.
a second. Just a second. You have a judgment against him for $7,500?
She has the judgment.
You have a judgment against him, so there's no question.
Here's the bill of sales for the other car.
A court has already ruled on that.
On that one.
On this one.
But the other witness will testify that he did take the car?
No, I got it. He said he repossessed the car, and he couldn't go to the hearing, to the court date, because he had a class.
Okay.
And then he took the car back, and he gave it to his stepfather, who sold it, according to him, for $4,500. Can I see the bill of sale?
Mm-hmm. The ones that he can't find.
Your last name is Mater?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I have a bill of sale, sir, with your signature on it, indicating that you sold this car to Joanna for $5,700.
I don't recall it being $5,700.
Well, why don't you take a look at this, sir?
Okay.
I don't remember it being that much either.
Obviously, this is a second-generated bill of sale with the price altered. I'm not a liar. I am a man of integrity. Have fun.
Listen, I don't have to get into all of this. You can sit down. I can understand why your father is angry with you. He made a gift to you. He was hoping that you would be able to use that gift and drive safely with that gift. And he didn't do it to line the pockets of anybody else, including taking care of the bills that you allegedly owed to your stepfather. He was trying to help you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, is there any reason why you did that?
What, Your Honor?
Took a wonderful gesture and made it not wonderful anymore.
It wasn't a wonderful gesture, Your Honor.
No, it wasn't?
No, Your Honor.
Well, let me ask you this question, sir. Do you think that your father could have sold that car to somebody else? Put your hand down. Well, you sold it to somebody for $7,500. He sold it to somebody for $5,700. Don't you think your father could have sold it to somebody else for $5,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's an answer. Instead, he gave it to you. Write it off. Mr. Nelson, legally I can't help you because the condition was that you get it back.
It is what it is.
You get it back if he joined the Navy. Didn't join the Navy. He's not going to join the Navy. Unfortunate. Sometimes your best intentions are not necessarily.
His words were he signed up for the Navy in January.
I understand that.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Good
Your
enough.
case is
Thank
dismissed.
you.
That's all. You owe him an apology.
That'll never happen.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Shauna Ross is suing her cousin, 21-year-old Pauline Ross, for the value of a state-issued check. Shauna claims Pauline kept money that was intended for her.
Miss Ross, the defendant is your cousin. According to what I've read in your complaint, she had had some trouble with Child Protective Services. And there came a time that you agreed to watch her children in exchange for a state check for watching her children.
Yes.
You watched the children. She got the state checks, 2 of them, according to you.
Yes.
She cashed them both and did not give you any money. Miss Ross says that you only watched the children a little bit. Her boyfriend watched them more than you did. So she kept the money, and she's got some countersuit about you calling Child Protective Services and making some false allegations about her after all this went down. What's your first name?
Pauline.
Pauline, how many children do you have?
3.
You're expecting another one?
Yes.
How old are you?
21.
You have enough children, Pauline?
Yes.
Did anybody ever tell you that?
Yes.
Who else told you that?
Everybody.
So add my voice to the rest of the pack. You have enough children, there are other things to do in your spare time. How old are your children?
They're 1.
You have to think about this?
No, 1, 2, and 3.
And who's the father of your 1-year-old?
Dion.
And who's the father of your 2-year-old?
I don't know.
And who's the father of your 3-year-old?
Dion.
And who's the father of this one that you're going to have now?
His name is Nick.
And how long have you been with Nick?
9 months.
Shh. Now, when your cousin was watching your children, who was your boyfriend then? Dion or Nick?
Nick.
When did your cousin watch your children?
She started April the 2nd when I started my job.
What kind of job did you have?
Waitressing.
Now, who filed the papers for your cousin to get the state check?
We both did.
And when you filed the papers, you said you were working, correct?
Right.
And you were receiving welfare.
Yes.
So they said, well, maybe they can cut some of this welfare money by giving you money to pay a babysitter to get you back in the job force, which will hopefully keep you out of the baby-producing business. How much did you receive in checks? Because the checks came to you, right?
Right.
How much was the first check?
The first one was $768.
And what did you do with that check?
I moved into my house.
So you used the money for yourself?
Right.
And how much was the second check?
$384.
And that was a babysitting check?
Yes, it was.
Well, Miss Ross, you don't get paid for babysitting for your own children.
No.
And Nick doesn't get paid for babysitting for your children because he hadn't filled out the papers.
Right.
So who do you think was he?
Her, but not her, because she wasn't watching the kids like she was supposed to. And then April 12th, I got laid off. They cut my hours due to complications of my pregnancy.
Yeah. So
But
how
she was
many
still
hours
in-
did you in fact work?
20 hours per week.
How many
After the
weeks
12.
did you work?
3 weeks.
3
No,
weeks?
3 weeks full time, and then they took me off.
So were you telling me, what state do you come from?
Michigan.
The state of Michigan gave you $1,152 for 3 weeks worth of babysitting?
No, no. You're
Well,
not
you got the
understanding.
2 checks just for babysitting money.
Right, ma'am, she was calling in hours that she wasn't watching the kids.
Just a second. I understand that, but you have to sign off on it.
called
Miss
my-
Ross, Pauline,
Yes.
you have to sign off on it. This is yet just another scam. If you don't think that I understand that this was just another scam, I
have
do.
the paper saying that I called and said my hours were reduced. It's right here from the caseworker.
Somebody had to sign off before you got the check, because the forms, she fills out the hours, but you have to sign off on it, that she did in fact work those hours. Isn't that the way it works in Michigan?
Yes.
Of course. Works that way all over. Otherwise, any babysitter could file and say, I worked 20 hours this week, unless the other person for whom she is allegedly working signs off on it. So if you people don't think that I understand that this is just another scam on the state, you're wrong. I got it. You worked 3 weeks and got checks for $1,152. You know what I'm doing with this case? I'm sending a tape of it to the state of Michigan so they can come after you and take the money out of your welfare money. This was a good scam that the 2 of you cousins cooked up together.
No.
Because there is no way that I believe.
I didn't say I got paid for 3 weeks. I was working full time for 3 weeks. I called the caseworker. Here's the paper, the document showing when I called, this say that my hours were reduced to 20 hours per week. So therefore, she supposed to have cut down the maximum hours which she supposed to call in.
Miss Ross, you are not entitled to keep that check.
I know that.
Just a second. So why did you keep it?
Because she wasn't babysitting the whole time.
You don't get it. Why don't you just send the money back to them? You don't move into your apartment with it, madam. You don't take care of your expenses with it. That's not what the money is for. That's what welfare is for. That's what Dion is for.
Well, Dion don't help.
Well, that's your problem. That's not Michigan's problem. You can't keep this money. You get welfare. The fact that you don't like how much you get doesn't mean that you can scam the state out of another $1,100.
I didn't scam. I paid the person that was watching the kids.
Yeah, show me.
Me and Nicholas.
Show me. I want to see the person who was watching the kids.
Me and Nicholas spent the money together for it, and I paid Lakeisha.
Listen to me. Lakeisha wasn't authorized by the state to watch your children. Neither was Nick. And you don't get paid for watching your own children. Madam, if you think that I'm going to give you $1,152, you are out of your mind. What the state should do is, and I'm going to send them a copy of the tape, is go against her welfare checks to redeem $1,152. And then let them decide where the $1,152 is going to go. That's what the state of Michigan ought to do. So they have to get the money back, and then they're going to give it to you. Thank you very much. That's all. Goodbye.
James Herring says his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, John Chavez, owes for a loan to bail him out of jail. John says it's James's fault. He was arrested in the first place.
Oh, that's interesting. Mr. Herring, you and Mr. Chavez share a girlfriend. Not at the same time.
No.
She was your girlfriend, then she was Mr. Chavez's girlfriend. Then briefly she was your girlfriend. Now she's back with Mr. Chavez. And if my reading of these documents is correct, this would be the lovely Jennifer. And according to your complaint, despite the fact that you had not been together, according to you now, for a year and a half, you had some mail for her.
Yes, ma'am.
So you took it to her house.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when you got to her house, there was a confrontation with Mr. Chavez. And according to you, Mr. Chavez was arrested.
Yes, Your Honor.
You bailed him out of jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even though he assaulted you.
Yes, Your Honor.
On his promise to pay you back the bail money, which he has not done.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Chavez says you felt terribly guilty about what happened. You came, bailed him out of jail. There was never any promise to pay you back. All very peculiar. Mr. Herring, did you know Mr. Chavez before this incident?
I met him through Miss Jennifer Berger, but I have not known him prior to her relationship with him.
When did you and Miss Berger terminate your relationship?
January 2006, maybe somewhere in that area.
Is that right, Miss Berger?
No.
When was it?
It's over 2 years. I've been with John for over 2 years. So.
No, don't look at him. Look at me.
I've been with John for over 2 years, so it has to be.
Okay, you lived together?
Yes, we lived together at one time.
How long did you live together?
About 2.5 years.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Herring?
I'm a stockbroker, venture capitalist.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Chavez?
Hardwood floors.
What kind of work does the lovely Jennifer do?
She doesn't.
She doesn't do any kind of work.
Well, she doesn't have a job.
She's a full-time job.
Yes, very much so.
Now, you last lived together with Jennifer 2 years ago.
We still share a residence occasionally.
What does that mean, sir?
Basically, she still has a lot of her things at my house. However, she does see Mr. Chavez from time to time, and she goes over there and spends some time, and then for whatever reason, then she comes back and stays at my house. We've become very good, close friends, and so she always has a place to stay in the event that she needs a place.
But you said you didn't talk in 2 years. Stand up.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said we haven't been together for over 2 years.
No, you said you hadn't talked in 2 years.
I didn't say talked.
What?
I didn't say talked. Misunderstanding.
You said you haven't been together.
Right.
In 2 years.
But during the 2 years, I've been over the house. I'm mostly with John.
Mostly with your boyfriend. Now, you live together as a boyfriend and girlfriend?
It's been on and off-ish.
What is your legal residence?
With Jim.
Mr. Herring.
Yeah.
You are three of the weirdest people that I've come in contact with. It's a very, very long time.
It gets weirder.
It's ridiculous.
The whole thing is ridiculous
Well,
unless there's
absolutely.
something that I'm not seeing here.
Absolutely ridiculous.
All right, miss, when did this incident happen? When you went over to take Jennifer, the lovely Jennifer, some mail, according to you, that had come to the house?
I don't know the exact date. You're on the 7th or the 6th of March.
Of what year?
Of this year.
Go ahead.
And then I bailed him out on the 10th of March.
Well, what happened when you went over there?
Well, when I went over to give her her mail, I called her and let her know I was coming by. She had a driver's license, her registration to her car, etc. She'd been gone for about 4 or 5 days. So I went over and I knocked at his door, and she answered the door. She came out, and I gave her her mail. I said, I'm going to be leaving. I don't want any confrontations with Mr. Chavez.
Why should you have any confrontation with him?
Because I've had him in the past.
Go ahead.
And so I started to walk away, and she came out and talked with me for a minute, and then he came out and got right in my face and started to assault me. And at that time, I turned around and I told him that I was going to call the police. I went out to my car and I called 911. The police came. They talked to me for a few minutes. Then they went down and talked to Mr. Chavez. And apparently the conversation was that they could decipher who started the fight, so to speak. They didn't press any charges against him or me. However, he did have a warrant out for him, an outstanding traffic warrant for $25,000 warrant.
$25,000 warrant for not registering his car?
No,
Unlikely.
I don't know what it was, ma'am. I think it was a headlight or something, but it was a $25,000.
You must have really ticked off a judge, Mr. Chavez.
So they arrested him.
I'm speaking.
Yes, so they arrested
I'm speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chavez, you must have really ticked off a judge to put $25,000 bail on you for a broken headlight.
It was for no registration on the vehicle, driving without a driver's license in possession, and no proof of insurance.
And when did you receive this violation?
2004. But I was working for a guy that owned a car lot, and I was driving one of his vehicles back to the lot and got pulled over. And from the understanding that his dealer plates were not currently...
What do his dealer plates have to do with your not having a driver's license?
Well, I just didn't have it in my possession.
Mr. Chavez, I've been in the justice system. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Not quite as long as you've been on this earth. But a $25,000 bail on what amounts to nothing more than driving without registration for the car doesn't sound kosher to me, Mr. Chavez. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying, but it was because of the dealer plates that were on the vehicle, and the dealer plates were supposedly not up to current registration. So...
Yes. Oh, so they took him into custody.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me how it came about that you went and bailed him out, Mr. Herring.
I just, for whatever reason, decided to go down to the L.A. County Jail to talk to him. I wanted to find out why he had such animosity towards me.
You mean you wanted to find out that question? I can tell you the answer to that question in a second. The lovely Jennifer.
Yes, well, yes, ma'am. But I wanted to find out for myself why there was just such anger and so on and so forth, because I did not have any anger towards Mr. Chavez at all. If Jennifer wanted to see John or be with him, I had no problem with it.
You may not, but he does.
Yeah, apparently. So I went in there and I talked with him, and he...
You live in Los Angeles, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. It's all very strange here. Go ahead.
So I was visiting with him, and he'd been in for 2 or 3 days at that point in time.
2 or 3 days on a traffic infraction.
He pleaded with me and begged with me. He even started to sob. He begged me to post bail for him because of his daughter. He also promised at that time that if I bailed him out, he would most definitely pay me back.
Go ahead, Mr. Chavez, let me hear.
That's all untrue. You know, I'm not scared of saying that I cry, but I'm not going to be crying to him. All right, that's first off. Second off,
but just tell me what happened.
When he came to visit me, he wanted to know why there was such animosity and what he could do to not have the animosity between us anymore. And I said, well, you don't want no animosity? Bail me out. He bailed me out, and that was it.
And when, for the first time, did he ask you for this money back?
Actually, he asked Jennifer to give me a letter, but she never gave it to me.
Why? Why didn't you give it?
I said I wouldn't. I didn't receive it from him.
Your Honor?
He asked me to give him some papers, but I didn't want to get involved. I said, this is between the two of you. You deal with it. I'm out of it. I wasn't going to serve. It was, I think, to serve him.
When was your next court date?
March 12th.
And what date did he bail you out? Do you recall? Do you recall, sir?
March 10th.
March 10th.
And you had already been there for 5 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Had you been in jail before, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, ma'am.
Same jail?
Yes, ma'am.
For how long?
30 days.
And did you do the 30 days?
Yes, ma'am.
So, doing 5 days must have been easy.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Herring?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't believe he promised to pay you back. I believe him. I believe him when he says that you said to him, what can I do to make this right? And he said to you, bail me out, and you did. Because I don't understand why, if the lovely Miss Jennifer had gotten her license and a registration for her car, you drive a car? Huh?
License is suspended.
For what reason?
For driving on a suspended license.
Your license is suspended for driving on a suspended license?
DUIs. And DUIs. Combination of
Listen, you people are all too confusing and I'm much too old. Mr. Herring, you can't have it both ways, sir. If Jennifer, and she's clearly with Mr. Chavez, I suggest that you cut all ties with her. I don't know what Miss Jennifer is doing for you that allows you to believe that someone who is living with somebody yet has an avenue to come back to live with you, you know, as sort of a safe haven. You're a safe house. This whole thing is very, very bizarre. And your visit to the jail is even more bizarre. Yeah. And the fact that you fronted money for his bail is even more bizarre. And I'm a very easygoing, you know, meat and potatoes Brooklyn girl. I don't get all this mishigash. Your case is dismissed, Mr. Herring.
Mark Horner claims former tenant Jacob Scott damaged his truck tub cover. Jacob is countersuing for the return of his bed and mountain bike.
Mr. Horner, this sort of comes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
And?
My daughter-in-law.
You and your wife befriended Mr. Scott. He had been a friend of your son's?
Correct.
And at some point, you allowed him to move into your home?
Yes.
Where's your family?
My parents live in Plainville, Massachusetts. I'm currently residing with them.
Was there any reason why you weren't residing with them when you moved in with the Horners?
When I graduated from high school, I kind of made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to be one of those kids that stays living with their parents, and I had moved out. And my roommate at the time decided he wanted to move back in with his parents, and I still, you know, didn't want to move back in and be one of those kids. And they had offered for me to move in and pay rent, so I took them up on the offer, and I was paying $75 a week to live with them.
And you were also doing some work for them?
Yes, ma'am. I was working for Mark as a maintenance worker, and I had also worked during the Patriots games for Mark at one of his sausage stands.
That's your business?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what the lawsuit is about. At some point, Mr. Scott was driving a truck of yours, and he rear-ended somebody and caused some damage to the front end of your truck.
Yes, ma'am.
You agreed with him that he would either pay the deductible, which was $1,000, or fix the truck.
Yes.
Did you do either of those two things?
No, ma'am. When this originally happened...
No, I'm just answering my question. So the answer is no.
No, ma'am.
And sometime later, you and your wife were going away for a holiday. Mr. Scott was remaining in the house, and according to your complaint, you said to him, no parties.
Correct.
You came back unexpectedly because there was a death in the family, and you found evidence of party.
Looked like he partied like a rock star.
And subsequently, you found the hot tub cover ripped.
Not only ripped, but there was food particles, cigarette butts, beer caps floating in the hot tub.
In the hot tub. Nasty.
Nasty.
And you and Mr. Scott then got into a heated discussion. He left.
Correct.
And when he left his bed and his bicycle, which he wants back, which is the subject of his counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
He says that you told him until you sign a promissory note to pay for the damage to the hot tub and the truck, you don't get your stuff back.
Correct.
Mr. Scott says that you told him to forget about the truck.
When the accident had originally occurred, the deductible, I was told the deductible was $500, and we had come to an agreement where I wouldn't have to pay it because the person he was supposedly selling the truck to hadn't paid anything for it, and the truck was 13 years old and had over 200,000 miles on it, and it was only about a softball-sized dent in the front bumper.
I have pictures of the truck.
Okay, so according to you, he said forget about it.
Yes.
And about the damage to the hot tub?
Actually, I have my witness here, Leanne. She's a friend of mine. She was at the house Sunday when they had come home, and she can testify that there was no rip in the hot tub cover Sunday when we were done, and we were not the last people in the hot tub cover. I had come home Tuesday night with a friend of mine, and Susan and Mark's daughter-in-law and her husband, Susan's son Peter, were in the hot tub, and we believe
You mean
that.
with the sausages and the cigarette butts?
No, that stuff had been taken out and cleaned.
Mr. Scott, the Horners allowed you to live with them, and Mr. Horner has no question asked you not to, no parties. You violated that trust by having a party.
We had actually, I had only had about 5 friends over.
Throughout the entire time that you were there, Mr. Scott?
No, but I never
Mr.
thrown a
Scott,
party
look,
there,
I
no.
want you to watch. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I've had 20-year-olds, a whole gaggle of them. When 20-year-olds know that there's a free house, it's never just 5 people. Mr. Scott, do you understand? So if you want me to believe other things that you're telling me, and I'm sure you do, I'm going to ask you again. How many people were at the house?
There was only 5 people there.
At one time?
Yes, because actually, I had lived in 2 previous houses before I moved in with Mark and Susan, where I paid the mortgage myself, and I pretty much gotten the partying out of my system. I quit drinking. I don't drink anymore, and it's just, we were hanging out, having a good time, trying to unwind on a weekend.
Well, who do you think it was that was a pig in the group of 5 that you had then, who put food in the hot tub and cigarette butts and cans? Which one of your 5 friends?
It was my buddy Greg. He had admitted to it.
He had admitted to it before they found it?
Well, I had told him that they found parts of a sausage in the hot tub and there were beer caps and everything, and he said, oh, the sausage was probably from me because he was the only one eating in the hot tub.
So I assume that if you had seen him eating in the hot tub, Mr. Scott, we don't do that.
I should have.
Did you see him?
I did, and I didn't say anything to him.
Did you see him smoking in the hot tub?
I did. Everybody was smoking in the hot tub.
And throwing their cigarette butts in the hot tub?
I didn't see anybody throw a cigarette butt in the hot tub. And
Well, did you take out ashtrays for everybody?
There were ashtrays out there.
Did anybody use them? You must have been aware of that unless you had been drinking.
Yes, ma'am, people did use them. The next day, when we were going through the hot tub, we had only found parts of sausages in the filter. I didn't see any cigarette butts in the hot tub at all. And
Well,
I didn't
Mr.
see any
Scott,
beer
let me
caps.
tell you this. When you abuse a privilege, I have to assume that the people who disrespected the Horners' property also ripped their cover.
Okay.
Because otherwise, why would Mr. Horner claim, after being so nice to you, they were nice to you, weren't they?
Well, the whole relationship we had was there was a lot of verbal abuse there. Mark especially was constantly putting me down, calling me, and I'm quoting him here, he was always calling me a dump. Him and his wife were both always calling me a dump. He called me a pardon my French, on numerous occasions, and he used to go around bragging to everybody that I was his, because I was helping out around the house and still paying $75 a week. And I just, at the time, I had just gone with all of this because I didn't want to cause any tension because I was living there under their roof.
Do you have children?
I do.
How many children?
I have 3 children.
How old are they?
My oldest is 23, and then I have
Where is the 23-year-old?
My 23-year-old is in the service. He's stationed at Fort Campbell in Kentucky.
And then you have a?
I have a 20-year-old.
Where is that child?
He lives with his girlfriend.
Well, that doesn't warm my heart. And what else?
And I have a 16-year-old at home.
And I have a 9-year-old.
Who lives with?
Her mother.
Who you visit?
Constantly.
And support?
Yes.
Mr. Scott says that you called him a lot of vile names. Is that true?
I definitely called him a dump.
When did you do that?
He got, I believe it was his 12th or 13th moving violation and lost his driver's license. So we particularly told him that he was a dump for that. He lost.
Just a second.
It was my 8th in 4 years.
Just a second. 8th in 4 years?
Yes, ma'am.
He's right.
Ma'am, that wasn't the only occasion.
Just a second. Well, I'm going to get the rest of them. But right now, that would have been worth at least a couple. You know, I could tell that you are presenting yourself as a young man who is totally responsible and thoughtful, and you sound that way.
Thank you.
But I'm looking at these people and I'm saying to myself, this is not a couple that brought you into their home to use as a slave and berate you. So I want to find out if they did, in fact, call you a dumb, if they had good reason to do that. 8 moving violations in 4 years fits.
He also had 2 while he was waiting for his suspension to come over.
And so that was worth at least 2 more.
Yeah, so they took his license away.
Got it?
Yes,
ma'am. All right. Let's sort of cut to the chase here because I don't want to torture you any further.
Thank you.
You have to... You're welcome. Because I don't want to hear anything else about you because you wore a tie to court and speak well, and I'm sure you're going to try to put your life together. This is your...
This is my friend Leanne.
Not a girlfriend?
No.
You weren't eating sausages in the hot tub, Leanne. You have to give him back his bed and his bike. He's going to pick it up within 5 days.
Thank you.
I'd like to see the pictures of the truck.
Ma'am?
What?
The one thing I'm concerned about with the bed is there was an incident back when Mark's father died. He was having some trouble with his brother, and he had actually taken pictures of him urinating on his brother's bed. And I'm just worried that they had done something to my bed while it was in their position.
I'm not going to dignify that question with an answer. Do you want your bed back or not?
Yes, ma'am.
I have pictures of the bed, Your Honor, if you want to see them.
No, I don't have to see pictures of the bed. I'm looking at the front end of this truck. It looks like a little dent, sir. Does it interfere with its driving?
It does not interfere with its driving. There's a tow hook that was smashed off the bottom of it. The grill is cracked. I have an estimate here from the body shop.
Let me see the estimate. Okay. How much is a new hot tub cover, or how do you fix that?
It wasn't, it had to be replaced. Here's the
Okay.
receipt. It was
How much was it?
It was $398 plus tax.
He's responsible for the tax. How much was the tax?
$420.
You living back with your folks, Mr. Scott?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you going to do with yourself?
Actually, in October, I'm going to be moving down to St. Petersburg, Florida.
To do what?
For a change, I'm going to become a construction worker down there. That's what I do up here, but just to get away from New England and a new scenery.
Where it's
really.
warm.
Exactly.
Who do you know in St. Petersburg?
A friend of mine lives down there, so a close friend of mine. I grew up with her, so she's got an apartment down there. She's going to school down there, and
You might want to try that, Mr. Scott. School is not terrible.
I was thinking about it, but I work 7 days a week now. I love to work. Both my jobs, I landscape on the weekends, and I'm a construction worker on the weekdays.
You have your driver's license back?
No, ma'am, I do not. I actually get it back in 21 days.
Try to hold on to it this time, please,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Scott. Get your bed back and your bike in 5 days. Judgment for the plaintiff on your claim $1,420. Thank you. Good luck.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Talent agent Theolani DeGuire is suing the owner of a Polynesian dance company, 28-year-old Lauren Michaels, for non-payment of services rendered.
Miss Michaels, what kind of work do you do?
I have a Polynesian entertainment company.
And your company provides Polynesian entertainment for whom?
For clients, shows.
What kind of show did you hire people for that is involved in this case?
A car show.
Had you dealt with Miss DeGuire before?
No, I haven't.
How did you find her?
I went on the internet. I was in a position where I needed one more act, and it was like the night before.
So you need another act for the car show. You found her ad on the internet.
Actually, no. I found someone else's ad, and they said, we don't do any last-minute gigs like this, and here's her number.
Fine. This is what the situation is. You contacted her, and she was to provide you with 2 or 3 young women who were going to dance at this car show. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And the agreed-upon fee was $300.
That's correct.
So far? That's
Yes.
correct. Hold up.
3 girls.
Okay. These are 2 of the 3 girls?
Yes, it is.
And they performed?
Yes, they did.
Miss Michaels, according to your complaint, gave the girls $200.
Yes, she gave them $200.
Check for $200. And then she put a stop payment on that check.
Yes, she did.
Now, Miss Michaels, you're going to tell me why you put a stop payment on that check.
Okay. There was a lot of broken agreements. They were supposed to meet me at 4:30. They showed up 3.5 hours late. 5 minutes before the showtime.
Yes.
They said they're going to let me choose between 2 to 3 costumes. And I didn't have that opportunity. They're still cutting.
So why don't you send them home when they got there 5 minutes before the event?
Because I wanted to fulfill my commitment.
So if you wanted to fulfill your commitment, then you let them perform, right? That's why you didn't send them home. What I'm asking you is why you stopped payment on the check. And I haven't heard anything yet.
Because when I saw the videotape afterwards, what was promised for a professional show, because I have act number 1, which is my group,
which is a professional act, and what was promised for a professional show and matching costumes and all of that, I'm backstage with my girls. They're going on.
So what you're telling me is you weren't satisfied with the performance?
Not at all.
Good. Listen to me very carefully, madam. I want you to think about you taking several of your clients into a restaurant, and you have a reservation for 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes and goes, and they don't seat you. They say, we're not going to be able to seat you until 9 o'clock. Look at me. So you decide to wait. You don't say to your friends, we're going to go to a different restaurant. You decide to wait. And you wait till 9 o'clock, and then you sat down to eat. And you eat, and you really don't like the food. You finish whatever you finish. You have dessert, you have coffee, bill comes, you pay it. And then you call your credit card company and say, I want to stop payment on this check because I didn't like my dinner. You think that's reasonable? If you waited until the last minute to book another act and you needed another act, I'm speaking.
Okay.
And these people show up and they hadn't fulfilled, according to you, their agreement, then you say to them, ladies, go home.
Yes.
I'm not going to potentially embarrass myself by putting on an unknown. What you can't do, Miss Michaels, is put the act on and then say, I didn't like them, and I'm not going to pay you.
I never said that I wasn't going to pay them.
Of course you did. You stopped payment on the check.
I stopped payment. We spoke, and I said, whatever out-of-pocket expense that you had to pay the girls, I will give that to you, and that wasn't satisfactory to her.
It's not satisfactory. You had an agreed price. The agreed price was $300. Your choice was, when they were late, to send them home. Because it wasn't just that they were late. If they were late and wonderful, you wouldn't have had a problem. But you didn't know these people. You didn't know whether they could dance. You didn't know whether they could sing. You didn't know whether they had nice costumes. Yeah, you didn't know anything about them.
I made a poor judgment.
You did.
Yes.
And that's what business is all about. You make a poor judgment and you learn from your mistakes. You try to book an act at the last minute and you get people. Where are you from?
Moreno Valley.
You're not from Hawaii, are you?
No.
Not from French Polynesia, are you? And where are you from?
Corona.
Corona. That's not in Polynesia, is it?
No. She's Hawaiian.
I don't care whether she's Hawaiian or Yiddish. She's not French Polynesian. You had a contract. If she is not fulfilling the contract by arriving at an appropriate time and giving you an opportunity to screen the talent, send them home. You can't use them and then decide you didn't like the meal. Do I make myself clear? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
You may step out.
Laura Schmidt says Cody and Brandy Mather owe for breach of contract regarding the sale of a weekend cabin.
Well, folks, I must tell you that I have been involved in the sale of property over the course of my lifetime, and this is one of the dumbest contracts that I have ever seen. And why 3 seemingly intelligent people would enter into such a ridiculous agreement is beyond me. And why the attorneys who represented you in the sale of this cabin would allow you to enter into this agreement. Maybe it's because you're young, but you're not that young. So this is what it's about, Bird. Listen, careful attention.
Got it.
Miss Schmitz had a cabin that she was very fond of. It was a vacation cabin. However, as fond as she was of the cabin, she decided to sell it. And she sold it to Mr. and Mrs. Mather, a lovely young couple who wanted a vacation place. Where is this cabin located?
Sashing Lake, Washington.
Beautiful, on a lake. However, Miss Schmitz wasn't prepared to totally let go of this cabin, so she maintained, through a letter of intent with the Mathers, an agreement that twice a year she was going to be able to use the cabin for a week each. Once Memorial Day, where she had a big party every year, and once during the summer. These folks agreed to that condition. Now, the first week she used the cabin, according to her, everything was okay.
Yes.
But when she was planning the second weekend, Mr. and Mrs. Mather were having second thoughts already about this agreement. So they sort of, according to her, made it unpleasant. They didn't give her the key to the cabin. They said, we're not giving you a key. We'll unlock it, and when you leave, you lock it, which sort of, to her, made her a prisoner in the cabin because she couldn't leave for the whole week. She was afraid the cabin would be unlocked and unattended to. And then she found her stuff piled up because she sold the cabin furnished. Anyway, because of what she considered a breach of their contract, she hired an attorney to sort of get involved. So she is suing them now because she wants the attorney's fees that she expended to sort of make sure this weekend took place. And then when she went there, you flew there, is that right?
Yes, it's over 300 miles from where I live.
So did you fly, is my question.
Yes.
To make a long story short, she didn't stay. So she wants them to pay for her airfare and for some stuff of hers that she says was missing from the cabin. I don't know what could be missing since you sold it. I don't understand that. Mr. and Mrs. Mather say, well, they really weren't thrilled with her coming for the second weekend because they had heard via neighbors about the previous weekend, but they never told her that she couldn't come, and that when she was there previously, she broke some things, she took some things, and also for lawyers' fees because they had to get their lawyer involved to talk to her lawyer about this alleged breach of contract for the second week vacation. Did I sort of outline it pretty well?
Pretty good.
Yes. The idea was this sail with tentacles.
Laura.
Your Honor, it was my idea because I was giving up thousands of dollars in a prepayment penalty so that they could get their own financing.
You bought the cabin when?
In '94.
And you bought
a 20-year contract.
Which said?
$1,000 for every year and partial year that you end the contract, and it was an assumable contract.
Just a second. You're talking about a mortgage?
Correct, a contract.
Oh, just a second. It's not a contract. You're talking about you had a mortgage. That was an assumable mortgage.
With a prepayment penalty.
Oh, now I understand. We're talking apples and oranges.
I'm glad you understand.
All right. She had an assumable mortgage, but if they wanted to pay off the mortgage, if she wanted to pay off the mortgage early, there was a penalty. If she got somebody to assume her mortgage on the cabin, then there wasn't a penalty. And you did or did not assume the mortgage?
We didn't assume the mortgage.
You didn't assume the mortgage so that it cost you $10,000 extra, in your way of thinking, to sell it to these people.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let me tell you this, Ms. Schmitz, that's a skewed way of thinking because all you have to do is find another prospective buyer who'd pay you an additional $10,000. But what you don't do is say, well, I'm going to sell it to you, but I want to be able to use it twice a year for free, forever, because that's dumb.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
It's not the last cabin in the world.
No.
So, how long have you been married?
8 years.
8 years, yeah.
How difficult is marriage?
It's hard.
What?
It's a lot of work.
And you love him?
Yes.
Right? You don't love her?
No.
You just signed on to be married to her
I know.
forever.
That's right.
And our family warned us and warned us. I know.
Family?
My mom. I know. She knew.
You don't love her. She's a stranger. You don't know if she's a nut. You don't know what her friends are like. You don't know if she's a slob. You don't know, whatever. And you have married her for as long as you have that cabin. And I don't even know if this provision of 2 weeks goes with the sale of the cabin, does it?
No, it was a side.
So now I'm really going to try to help you. What's it going to take, Miss Schmitz, to let them out of this stupid deal?
Well, she told me on this.
What is it going to take, Ms. Schmitz, to let them out of this stupid deal?
I would like to be paid for the money that I lost.
$4,000?
No, a lot more than $4,000. And today is not about the prepayment penalty.
Just a second. Who do you live with?
Myself.
You have to find something else to do with the next 5 years of your life other than sue these people. Because the contract that you entered into was dumb. The prepayment penalty for your mortgage had absolutely nothing to do with selling them this property with this 2-week provision. It's dumb, and you should finish it today. And you should allow me to help you. I'm prepared to help you. If you don't want me to help you, I don't think you're going to like the judgment today. Do we understand each other? You have to find another purpose for living other than this cabin. You have to let it go. Now, if it's going to cost $4,000 to let them out of this ridiculousness, it will give you the opportunity to spend the next 4 years someplace else, $1,000 a week, celebrating your birthday, Memorial Day, or whatever else you want to celebrate. But you have to let them out of this ridiculous bargain, because otherwise what they're going to do is, as much as they love the cabin, they're going to sell it to somebody, maybe even a relative, to get out from under this ridiculous commitment that they made. So it's my job to try to reduce the amount of litigious behavior we have in this country, not expand it. So I am prepared to help you, Ms. Schmitz. Do you want me to help you?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you again. How much is it going to cost to let them out of this ridiculous contract?
Your Honor, I'm out $4,000 in addition to the thousands I paid in the prepayment penalty.
They're not responsible for your prepayment penalty. That's your bag. You could have said to the realtor, one of the conditions of a purchaser is someone who is going to assume my mortgage so it won't cost me an additional $10,000. How much did you pay for the property, Ms. Schmitz?
$62,094.
How much did you sell it for?
$131.
So that's not bad. And you had the use and enjoyment of it, and you doubled your money. And even if you say, well, you had a prepayment penalty on your mortgage, take off $10,000, $121. So you doubled your money in 10 years. That's pretty good, right? So I'm going to ask you again, what is it going to cost to let these people out of this ridiculous contract that you both entered into?
Your Honor, I wasn't prepared to talk about the prepayment penalty.
I just talked about the prepayment penalty. Did I make sense to you?
Yes.
You think it's going to make more sense to retain a lawyer, sue them, continue to sue them, because the lawyer's going to charge you money. I would charge you money at the rate of $500 an hour. And a lot more aggravation. So all I'm telling you is you have to find a life other than suing these people. It's over. And I am prepared to help you. I would take me up on my offer.
I will.
Good. So let's go again. How much is it going to cost to let them out of this ridiculous contract? Then I'm going to ask them if they're prepared for it.
Since the maximum I'm allowed to ask for of the $15,000 is $4,000, I guess that's the maximum I can receive.
Well, I'm going to let you amend your complaint to ask for $5 because that's the jurisdictional limit of this court.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to come to you. Ms. Schmitz is prepared to have me enter an order that says, upon the payment of $5,000, that she will declare null and void the requirement that she use the house for 2 weeks a year, and then you will both withdraw these claims. What do you think?
I agree.
That sounds good.
Sounds great.
Very smart.
Now we are.
Okay. You have a copy of the letter of intent that forms the basis of your lawsuit? You prepared to withdraw at this point your counterclaim?
We do.
It's going to be a very simple order that I will sign, you will sign. So I'm going to ask you to wait outside. Bird will call you. Yes.
Your Honor, in good faith, I offer them the use to negate that.
Absolutely.
Offer. Thank you.
We don't want to use her home.
Absolutely. You don't want to use your home. You don't use their home. Go. Goodbye. Have a happy life. Good luck.
Thank you.
24-year-old Heidi Huntley claims ex-boyfriend Eric Huntley owes for half of their credit card debt.
Miss Huntley, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You've been together for quite some time, I assume, and you have one child together.
Yes.
Your complaint is that when you broke up, Mr. Huntley agreed that he would take over half of the credit card debt. He made a couple of payments and then stopped. You also claimed that he used a car that belonged to you and caused some damage to the car and vandalism to the car. You want him to take care of that. Mr. Huntley said he walked out of the house, leaving you in the house with your child. How old is your child?
My son is 7.5.
And he left with his clothes, and that's on that credit card remains in the house, and he doesn't see why in the world he should pay for it.
Yes.
And with regard to the car, his defense is that any vandalism that was done to the car was paid out by your insurance from an act of vandalism that had nothing to do with him, and you chose not to have the car fixed, but to pocket the insurance money, and therefore he's not paying for it because you already got paid for it. Right?
Correct.
Correct.
Good. You lived together from when to when?
February of 2003 until October 8th of 2006.
When and why did you leave, Mr. Huntley?
The relationship just didn't work out. It was an agreed upon thing. It wasn't like I just stormed out. I mean,
okay, so you agree. So it was a civilized, orderly arrangement.
We were both unhappy.
What arrangement did you make, Mr. Huntley, with regard to the debt?
I had been paying pretty much all of the, I mean, I had a full-time job and I was going to school, making financial aid and some scholarships, and that was all going to bills while she was only going to school. For about 4 years. When I left, I was still paying the credit card bills, but it didn't take a long time to figure out that what was going on was it was an attempt to make sure I didn't have enough money to survive, and I couldn't. Right now, she's living in a 2-bedroom house with hardwood floors, with 2 cars in the driveway. She's got a college degree. I think she's had a job for a little while. I'm sleeping on my dad's couch.
The credit card bills were how much?
We have $38,000 in credit card debt over the course of our 3-year relationship. He'd been paying half the payment on all of the 5 cards, and I had also been paying half a payment on a card that is only in his name, on not my name at all. Our credit cards have both of our names. We're both joint signers on these cards. We just made the arrangement that, you know, hey, you would pay half and I would pay half the minimum payment, and that went on until September. And in September, he told me, I need to save for my own place. I have a new girlfriend, or October, I have a new girlfriend. I just bought a new truck after I lost $1,500 selling our truck that was in joint of our names. And I don't have the money to pay it, so you're just going to have to deal with it yourself. It's not my problem.
Well, you have to deal with it, and he has to deal with it, because if they're joint credit cards, they're going to come after both of you.
Absolutely.
So, what are you doing in court? Here.
He won't pay the credit card.
Well, they're going to come after him. They'll attach your salary, they'll attach his salary.
Well, Your Honor, I have a credit score of 760. His credit score is now 720, but when we met, it was in the 500s and mine was in the 700s. And
Miss Huntley, how many years since 2003 were you employed?
None of those years was I legally employed.
Well, you're not going to stand here in court and tell me you were illegally employed.
I went to school and I had scholarship funds. I had 8 different scholarships, of which I got about $2,800 a month take home cash.
That you don't have to pay back?
I do have loans. I have student loans.
Of
but
course you do.
some
So
of that
the
I do
answer
not
is
have to pay back.
the answer is you did not work. He worked. He provided for the household while you were living together. You have to remember, folks, you're not married. We don't have courts in this country for almost marrieds living together, trying it out. We don't have courts for that. If this was a marital situation, I would have no problem. I would say, listen, you have credit card debt, you're responsible for half, and you're responsible for half. That's it. Goodbye and good luck. But that's not the case. The truth of the matter is that if you have $38,000 worth of credit card debt from 2003 in February until 2006 in October, he paid the credit cards.
No, he didn't. He was unemployed for 6 months of that time straight.
Well, you
And
were
we lived
unemployed
off
for
of
4
credit
years.
cards.
Somebody had to pay for
But
these
I wasn't
cars.
unemployed. I brought home $2,800 a month every month,
What'd you do
except
with it?
for July and August.
What did you do with it?
I paid as many bills as he did. Car payments, credit card payments, food, clothing.
You
mean,
know
all
something.
kinds of stuff.
It's very, very interesting, Miss Huntley. I have no idea how you did that because I had kids, and nobody ever gave them $2,800 a month in cash in addition to what they were getting. So you got some kind of gig going here that probably the rest of the civilized world would like to know about.
I have a 3.8 GPA, and I'm an engineering student, and I volunteer 170 hours a year.
Fabulous. What do you want me to do? You want me to say to him what you should do is pay half the bills?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll say to him what you do should be half the bills. Be nice if you paid half the bills. That's a moral judgment. These bills are in both of your names, and eventually the credit card companies who have advanced to you foolishly $38,000 in credit card expenses are going to come after both of you for the return of this money.
Your Honor, I'm making the payments because I understand how important credit is. I would like to go on with my life.
And
I'm making the payments regardless of whether he is.
Don't you, Mr. Huntley?
I do, but I only have so much money, and it's getting to the point where I have to choose.
Are you paying child support?
Yes.
No.
Oh, interesting.
No, he has not paid child support, and he has not made a payment on any credit cards since August.
I was just requested to make child support payments 2 weeks ago by the state.
Mr. Huntley, requested by whom?
The state.
The state, because he wouldn't pay it.
I was never asked to pay it.
Just a second.
I've been paying all these other bills.
Listen, you may be angry. You may be, I don't know what you're angry about. I don't know. The truth of the matter is I really don't know what you're angry about. I was going to jump down his throat when he said I was never asked to pay it, because that's not an answer. When you have a child, you're supposed to pay child support. You don't have to be asked by anybody to pay child support. Child has to eat. Both parents are responsible for that. How much are you paying in child support?
$200 a month right now.
$200 a month is not a lot of money, Mr. Huntley.
No, it's not. At the time when I was requested to make child support payments, my paychecks are $800 or $900, and she asked for $600 or $700 every 2 weeks for bills.
Well, you can't do that and pay child support.
I can't do that and
I
pay
haven't
child
asked for
support.
child support until he stopped paying on the bills.
Oh, well, but just a second. But then you did.
I only want what's fair. I only want half of our debt.
Miss Huntley, what you have to do, my dear, if you want half the debt, is you have to get married. That's what happens. That's what happens. Otherwise, you're coming into court, and there is no jurisdiction that I know of for almost marrieds. He can't pay half the credit card bills and the child support order that should be a lot more than $200 a month, quite frankly, Mr.
And it will
Huntley.
be. I put an appeal to have it raised to $640 is what he's going to end up paying, which is just enough to cover the minimum payments on the credit cards.
Well, then you shouldn't have made such extensive credit card purchases. What do you want from me? Now, the two of you chose not to get married. You chose for whatever economic reason to live without benefit of marriage. I don't know why. Maybe it had to do with your scholarships. Maybe it had to do with something else. I'm not sure. Quite frankly, I don't have the time to figure it out. But if you chose to do that, you can't come to court and say, listen, now you have to go through our assets and liabilities. If I were to go through your assets, if I were to go into your home, Miss Huntley, and look at what you have in your home, would anything in your home be the product of the purchases that were made on these credit cards?
Some things.
And did Mr. Huntley take any things out of the home when he left other than his clothes and personal effects?
No, but some of those things were also on these credit cards.
No, just a second. I don't care. I'm talking about his clothes and personal effects. I'm not talking about beds and refrigerators or washer dryers or anything else that it goes to set up a household.
No, I kicked him out and he took nothing.
Right. Well, then you pay the bill. Bye.
Donnie Gatewood claims his daughter, Crystal Gatewood, and her boyfriend, Christopher Mayer, owe for loans. The defendants are countersuing, claiming Donnie put sugar in Christopher's gas tank.
Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Gatewood, this young lady is your daughter, and the co-defendant is her boyfriend. They have a couple of children together. They are not married.
Correct, ma'am.
It is your claim that you made a loan to them,
Yes,
a loan in the amount of, I believe, $4,000.
Yes, ma'am.
That they were supposed to pay you back. They
Correct.
didn't do that.
Correct.
Your daughter and the boyfriend say that this was not a loan, this was a gift, because they had fallen on some hard financial times, and that you became more and more obsessed with getting this money back, an obsession that rose to the level of harassment. They are counterclaiming, claiming that you not only harassed them, but that you vandalized Mr. Mayer's car.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
They are 2 and 6 months.
Is Mr. Mayer the father of both of those children?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I was a forklift driver.
Well, how long ago were you a forklift driver?
A few weeks ago.
And how long were you a forklift driver?
For about 6 months.
And before that, what did you do?
Forklift driver at another job.
Why do you keep changing jobs?
Because Mr. Gatewood keeps calling on my jobs.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's somebody else's fault. It's not your fault that you lose these jobs.
Right.
Mhm. How much did you make at your job?
I was making $8.50
$8.50
hour.
That's not a lot of money.
No, ma'am.
Can't support yourself and 2 children on $8.50 an hour. So what do you do for a living?
I stay at home with the children.
Well, you can't afford to do that.
Well, right before this job, he had a job that paid $12.90 an hour.
$12.90 an hour, a virtual windfall. You think you can support a family on $12.90 an hour gross?
I think that's a pretty good amount.
And when did you lose that job?
November.
And you went right to work for somebody else?
Yes.
When did they call and ask you for money?
About the first part of February of this year, your ma'am.
Now, if you were working in February, what did you need money for? Look, don't go like that. I don't know. If he's working as a forklift operator at a job that he can support a wife and 2 children, girlfriend, excuse me, why did you call your father for money?
Pretty much he continued to lose every job right around 3 weeks. And each time the boss of the job would call and say, I'm sorry, we have to let you go, but there's a complaint that we got from a person calling in. And
a boss doesn't fire him if he's doing a good job because some stranger calls that he doesn't know and says he's not doing a good job. That doesn't make sense, Miss Gatewood. Okay, so you called your father and said that you needed money.
we actually called him and said, could we stay with you for a while until we got something saved up?
So, Miss Gatewood, so you called the person who you thought was responsible for your husband, I keep saying that, I must be old-fashioned, for your boyfriend losing his jobs, job after job after job. So what you did was call him and say, could we come and stay with you?
I asked for me and the kids to come and stay.
I'm trying to get where you're coming from. You call the person who you believe is responsible for all your bad luck and say, can we come and stay with you? And what did your father say?
He said we could stay for a few days, but he'd like to try to find us a place to stay for us to be stable.
Okay. And you said?
I said that'd be great.
And?
We went looking for mobile homes. We finally found one that we could buy for $1,000. So he told us that he would get us a loan to help build my credit.
Great. So you went to the bank?
Yes.
And what happened to the bank?
We got a $4,000 loan that my dad agreed he would pay. I didn't have a job at the time. Chris knew nothing about it.
Chris knew nothing about it. When you moved into this mobile home that you found, he wasn't going to move in with you?
Chris wasn't any part of the loan. He was going to live with me.
Just answer my question.
Yes, he was going to live there.
Well, if he was going to live there, where did he think that you got the money from?
I told him my dad was going to help us out. That's what we were told. It was going to be a gift.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gatewood, do you want to tell me your version of what happened with your daughter and this money?
Yes, ma'am. At approximately first part of February of this year, my daughter called me crying, saying that she was being evicted from her apartment. Said they had no money for gas, no money for food. It was snowing. They wanted to know if they could come with me. I said, you and the girls can. That young man can't hold a job. He's not welcome. I got off the phone. About 20 minutes later, I called my daughter back. She's upset. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to help you. It's going to be a loan. You got a tax return coming. You can pay me back part of it this year and part of it next year. At that time, that loan will establish your credit. It will also gain you new residency, which it did. We got a trailer for her, 14 by 70, 1974 trailer. Got her washer and dryer, got her couch, got her refrigerator. And
when you say you got her, did she go with you shopping?
Yes, we actually purchased the trailer.
The washer and dryer came with it.
The washer and dryer and the couch basically came with
the refrigerator he got from work. Okay, for free.
That's
now,
correct.
You took out, according to you, a $4,000 loan. The trailer was, according to your daughter, $1,000. What happened to the rest of the money?
That's correct. We gave the actual person that we bought the trailer from $2,800.
No, we
did
not.
For the trailer and all the belongings in the trailer, for the furnishings.
Do you have proof of that?
All I have is the loan, ma'am.
Well, I'd have to know what happened with the money.
Well, I gave her the cash
Gabe,
help.
look at me.
I gave her cash so they could pay their car payment so they wouldn't lose their car.
Okay.
That's not correct.
How much money did your father give you?
He gave us $1,000 for the mobile home,
Mhm.
$500 paid for the washer, dryer, couch, and stove that came with it, and $500 towards lot rent and starting all our utilities up.
So he actually gave you $2,000.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not true, Your Honor. We gave the gentleman $2,800, and the other $1,200 I gave to my daughter. I did not give it to him. I gave it to her in cash.
Okay. Now, they're supposed to pay you back with their tax return, but something happened, Mr. Gatewood, according to your complaint, that irritated you. Your daughter said, according to you, she said she couldn't make the first payment.
Correct.
So you went to the bank and made the payment. That was $300 and some odd.
$375, yes, ma'am.
Then what happened, sir?
From that time, she basically asked for me to pay her lot rent as well. And I promptly went straight up there within the hour and paid her lot rent.
How much was the lot rent?
$300.
What were you doing all this time?
I was working.
Why wasn't your rent being paid?
Actually, he went up there himself and paid it off, and
But
then
why
gave
wasn't
her a
your
phone
rent?
call.
Listen to me. He would not have known to pay the lot rent unless somebody told him that the lot rent hadn't been paid.
Well, our deal
I'm
was...
not asking you. Why hadn't you paid the lot rent?
Because I haven't had my first check yet.
So your lot rent was not paid. Your food was not paid. If you didn't have any money, so you were using the money, is that right, Mr. Maher, that he gave you?
I never had money.
Well, you were eating, weren't you? You weren't on life support.
She has food stamps that she gets food from and everything.
Why would she have food stamps?
Because
She's
we
on
keep
Medicaid.
struggling. We're never getting
Well,
it.
if you keep struggling, what'd you have another baby for? You think that was going to make it easier? Okay. Did you get your tax return back?
Yes.
How much did you get?
I think altogether about $4,500.
And it didn't dawn on you to pay your father back for this loan?
No, we were never told to pay him back.
Well, you're here now. And he must have said something before you arrived here today.
We were told it was a complete gift.
You were told that by your father?
Yes.
So between February and March, when he came to the house and told you that he wanted some money, because that's what you say in your answer, you think he had a psychotic breakdown?
My
I
dad
mean, you
goes-
think he had a psychotic breakdown?
I think he goes through different moments where one day he wants to be our friend and the next day he doesn't.
That's not be your friend, and one day he doesn't want to be his friend until he grows up and accepts responsibility for making 2 children and holding down a job regularly. What I'm asking you is if your father comes and says, look, I took out a loan. I need you to pay me back part of it now and part of it next year. And you just got $4,500. Why you wouldn't do that? Why you wouldn't do that? It's your money. You're the one who works. She doesn't work. She gets food stamps.
Every time they went to do something with whatever they were doing with the money or whatever, he came over and got her, and they left and did whatever they did. I stayed at home with the kids those times. Never knew anything, never signed
Well,
anything.
Mr. Mayor, I don't believe that you never knew anything. I believe that he came and got
Well,
her.
I
and
knew
you
where
wanted
they
to
were
know-
going, yeah.
You knew what they were going. You knew what they were going for, right?
Yes.
It's just that Mr. Gatewood didn't want to deal with you. He doesn't approve of the fact that you made 2 children. You have his daughter living from hand to mouth. She's not helping herself, but certainly you're not stepping up to the plate and assuming the responsibility of a head of household. So he didn't want to have anything to do with you until you grow up. I could understand that. So he takes his daughter. That doesn't mean you're a defendant, because I don't think that you made your arrangement with him. I think you made your arrangement with her.
I made it with both of them, ma'am, and he knows that.
No. Even you tell me that you didn't make the arrangement with him. You went to the bank with her.
Not initially on the phone, ma'am, but when I went over to their trailer or to their apartment before I went to the bank, I told them that that's what was going to happen. I was going to go
Just
to the bank.
because you told them that was going to happen, sir, does not a contract make.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that.
That's a parent saying, this is what you're going to do.
Sure.
And unless you have somebody said, fine, offer, acceptance, then you don't have a contract.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think your agreement was with your daughter. And I don't believe her when she says it was an absolute gift. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come over to the house to try to get payment.
He came over to the house because we quit talking to him. We just wanted nothing to do with him. He started...
Well, why would you have nothing to do with him before he took out a loan for you as, according to you, a gift for $4,000?
Because
according to you. Why would you want to all of a sudden have nothing to do with him?
Because they all of a sudden wanted nothing to do with us. They didn't have us come over. My mom never came to see my daughters, nothing.
You're talking about 2 weeks? You're talking about from February to March?
Yeah, my mom would come over at least like twice a week and see them, and she just quit coming over, quit caring.
Oh, you're just a victim. You're a terrible victim. What do you think? You think both your mother and your father had psychiatric problems during those 2 weeks?
No.
Well, what do you think happened?
I don't know. I think they got money greedy and...
They got money greedy?
Yes. I think we deserve that money because as many jobs as my dad has cost Chris.
Miss Gatewood, if you believe the fact that your father caused Chris to lose his job, you better have a head adjustment. He may have convinced you of that, but the truth of the matter is, that's a lot of baloney. A lot of baloney. Do you think I'm a smart lady?
Yes.
They don't keep me around here because I'm 5'6" and gorgeous. They keep me around here because I'm very, very smart. And I have a history with people. Things make sense or they don't make sense. Parents who are faced with the fact that their daughter has had 2 illegitimate children with a man who can't hold down a job, but who seems to be in love with him and seems to at least want to try to make a life with him, don't sabotage that by getting him fired from his job so that their daughter will be out in the cold with her 2 children.
I believe it's a control thing. Like, he always wants to know where I am, everything. He's always tried to bring me back to his house.
No, he's not. You called him and asked if you could come home, and he said you can come home for a while, but I'd much rather see you in your own place. He doesn't want you to come home with the 2 children. He doesn't want to be a parent to your 2 little children.
He doesn't want to be a grandparent either.
Oh, Miss Gateway, you are truly a victim. Maybe you found the perfect foil. What you are is a big baby who has babies, but who made an agreement with your father, and then he said, I'm not giving him my $4,500. There's no way. I didn't make an agreement with him to give him $4,500, and you don't have $4,500 because you don't work. And that's what started the problem with your father. Because if you believe that your father was the cause of all of your troubles, you have to be crazy to call him up and to say, can I come home with the girls? So you really didn't believe that because you could have called his parents and said, we're being evicted. You didn't call them. You called the terrible people who were sabotaging your life. Grow up, because your tears don't make it with me. I guarantee you, they shed more tears than you did. No. Bad people. They're really bad people. The fact that you picked somebody who can't hold a job and who can't accept the responsibility for children that he made, that's their fault too.
He's there for his kid and he tries.
Well, he shouldn't be there for his kids. He should be working. You're there for his kids. And you should be working too. And in addition to food stamps, as long as you're not married, which is one of the reasons you get food stamps, along with the food stamps, there are federal programs that give you free daycare. Put your kids in daycare and get a job.
I had a bad influence with a daycare one time. One of my daughters got hurt.
Also, somebody else's fault. So get another daycare. And you don't solve your problem by making another baby.
I know.
Maximum limit that you're suing for is $3,000 on your complaint. On your complaint, I'm awarding you the $3,000 because that's the maximum in your jurisdiction. I have a counterclaim. Counterclaim says, Mr. Gateway, that you put sugar in Mr. Marr's gas tank.
That is not true.
Go ahead. Prove it.
We got a call from him about 5 minutes before.
Who's we?
Chris received the call. I was over there and also Chris's best friend. And he said...
Wait just a second. You were over where?
I was at the house.
But you didn't get the call?
No. I wasn't answering any phone calls.
Fine. Then you tell me what the call was.
You answer it. It's Mr. Gatewood, and he says, well, since you guys aren't going to cooperate with me now and blah, blah, blah.
No, I don't want to hear blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah I can get when I speak to my 3-year-old grandchild. I want to hear what he said to you, Mr.
He said,
Marr.
since you guys don't want to cooperate with me now.
Don't want to cooperate. Those are the words he used? Since you guys don't want to cooperate with me, go ahead.
There's sugar in your gas tank, and I hope it blows up.
So what did you do?
We went out and checked the gas tank.
Immediately hung up the phone, went outside. Me and my friend went outside. I opened the gas tank, see some white substance at the bottom. Checked my friend's truck. There's more on his than mine. I guess he thought I bought a new truck. We called the cops. They came over, took a report.
And the cop states in the report that there is...
Don't tell me what the police said. I'll see the police report.
I think it's on like the 3rd page.
Who blacked this out?
The police station does it.
Fill in the blanks. Mayor, that's you. This is what you told the police. Stated that the problem stemmed from a loan that blacked out, co-signed for blank. That's what you told the police. According to Mayor, you have been harassing them for the last couple of days, including calling their home constantly. Prior to calling the police, he was speaking to you on the phone. Conversation quickly became heated and turned into an argument. While they were speaking, you told Mayor he put sugar in the gas tank of his car. Mayor and your friend then checked the gas tank of both their vehicles and saw crystal-like substance, so Mayor called the police. So here, Miss Gatewood, your boyfriend, acknowledges that this was a loan. Was there anything wrong with your car?
Yes.
Uncross your hands. You have either the estimate or the cost of fixing it?
No, I don't.
Well, where is it?
I let my friend fix the filter of my car.
So you had no damages?
No, you had to change the whole
I had to change the filter
filter
of my gas tank.
Well, where's the bill?
I paid him $100 to go get the filter and fix my car.
So what you're telling me is you have no proof that there was any damage done to your car.
Right.
You owe your father $3,000. Who knows whether he's going to be forever? When people get married in this country today, there is a 52% chance that the marriage will terminate. When people start off like the two of you starting off, the expectation is that statistically you will not know what he looks like in 5 years. Very great. You only have in your life 2 parents. Those 2 people. I would suggest that you think about that. I would also suggest that you think about the fact that certain things make sense and certain things don't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. And the fact that he has convinced you that the cause of his problems at work is your father is just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000.
Michael Krollman claims ex-girlfriend Jennifer Buck had him falsely arrested for an assault. Jennifer is countersuing for emotional distress and harassment.
Mr. Krollman, the defendant is your former girlfriend. You and Ms. Buck have a child together. And it is your claim that sometime in 2005, she filed false assault charges against you, which caused you to retain an attorney, lose wages, suffer. You want her to compensate you.
Correct.
Ms. Buck says she told the truth when she filed for this protective order. As a matter of fact, the protective order was granted to her for a year. She is counterclaiming because she says you're the one who continues to harass her, and she's going to tell me why. How old is your child?
She just turned 2 in January.
And when did this incident happen that formed the basis of the order of protection?
November 10th, 2005.
How long had you been separated at that point?
Almost 2.5 months.
Where did the incident occur?
In my house.
What time?
It was around 7 in the morning.
What were you doing at his house at 7 in the morning?
It wasn't 7, it was about 5:30. We had been out that evening, and he invited me back to his house, so we were at his house.
You had been out together in the evening?
Yes.
Is that right?
We met up later in the evening, yes.
Where?
At a bar.
Okay, so what happened at 5:30?
She'd come back. We had been involved in a relationship for, a year and a half, and we had been intimate that night, and I had to go to work that morning. I was tired. I needed to get some sleep, so I asked her to leave. She did not want to leave. She basically wasn't satisfied and wanted me to continue. I told her I had to get some sleep. I asked her to leave. So that is when she left. When she left, she walked into the garage, knocked over a set of poker chips. I heard a loud noise, so I followed her. And at that time, she was walking out of the garage. I was tired. I wanted to get to sleep. I wanted to make sure she left. So I approached her. I went to put my hand on her. And as I did that, she turned into me. When that happened, she fell over. Immediately, I apologized, and I asked to help her up. After I helped her up, I gave her a hug and apologized, and then I went inside, and she got in her car.
All right, that's the basis for your application for protective order, that incident?
Yes, but that's not how it happened.
Now, you tell me your version of the incident.
Okay, we did get into an argument. I was leaving. I did knock off the poker chips off the table. I continued to keep walking. I never stopped at all. All of a sudden, he comes behind me, pushes me, and I fall from the garage onto the driveway. I fell on my complete left side. I was crying. He did not offer to help me up, did not apologize. I got up. I was crying. I asked him to apologize, and I left. I went home. I didn't tell anybody what happened. A couple days later, family members found out and told me to go file. So I went and filed charges on him.
Okay. So you filed for a protective order based upon this incident. And what happened when you went to court, Mr. Krollman?
Well, actually, I was going out of town the following weekend, and she had driven by and found out that I was home. So she called the cops, and they came pick me up. I spent the night in downtown.
Okay.
So I got a lawyer the next day. And when we went to court, the charges ended up being dismissed.
You say that there was a protective order issued for 1 year.
Correct. We went to court in December for a CPO, civil protection order. It's a permanent restraining order against the temporary restraining order, per se.
Right. Well, what happened with that?
That was granted December 19th of 2005.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. I'm sorry, it's December 21st.
So in Ohio, you can have a civil protective order as opposed to a criminal proceeding pending.
Correct.
Okay. Well, Mr. Krollman, you have already had a civil hearing on this matter, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And the court in that hearing on December 19th, 2005, made findings. And one of the findings that the court made was that your actions caused her to be injured on November 10th, right?
Right.
Then you can't sue her, sir. I mean, if that's the incident that you're suing her over, you can't sue her.
They just basically said that there was no evidence supporting the facts that I caused those injuries. I have a couple of things, if I may.
Just a second,
Sure.
though. The court says, inasmuch as petitioner's testimony about hitting the driveway because of the respondent's conduct is in part corroborated by the respondent, that's you, the court finds that the petitioner is a credible witness on that topic. So the court credited her version of the events. I don't sit as an appellate court. For that court, the same burden of proof exists in the two courts. There's already been a finding in that court with regard to your conduct, sir. With regard to that, the matter is what we call in legalese res judicata. I don't go back and look at facts again. They dismissed the case and sealed it criminally. Civilly, they found you liable, and they issued a civil protective order for a year. I'm prepared to hear what you have to say. If it's relevant, sir, I just told you what the law is. That's the law. We're not going to make new law here.
Okay.
You got it?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. Basically, the whole reason that I believe all of this came out is in October a month prior, I had filed for custody.
Did you tell that to the judge?
Yes.
In this proceeding?
Yes.
So the judge heard you?
Following that, a month later, she filed for that motion.
No, that's not true, sir. You're missing something. You filed for custody in October. You got together November 10th. She fell outside on November 10th. That's intervening. Go.
That same week that the charges were filed, she also sent me an email stating that let's check to see if either of us have a criminal record. All of this in lieu of her trying to build up a case for custody since she knew I'd filed for custody.
Well, listen to me. Mr. Krollman, look at me. Just for my own information. Why did you file for custody in October, sir?
Because she would not let me see my daughter unless it was just to talk about us. It was only, I'll let you talk about us and then I'll let you see your daughter.
If that's true, terrible. Because she's got to understand this, a child is entitled to know both parents. She may not care for you anymore. That's not the child's problem. And sometimes women don't get that. They have to get it. Some judge has to tell them that those are the rules. However, sir, you filed for custody in October. You got together again in November. And I guarantee you that you said things in your application for custody that she didn't like, right?
Probably. I'm sure we both did.
And then she was trying to gather ammunition about you after you filed for custody, right?
Correct.
That's fair game, Mr. Krollman. So you have no case here because that's already been decided by another court. Now, you want to proceed with your counterclaim?
Yes.
I got 30 seconds to hear the nonsense.
Okay. Mr. Krollman is an alcoholic. He's obviously had disorderly conduct while intoxicated.
And how long have you known that?
Ever since I met him.
Well, that's your problem. That's your bad judgment, not only to hook up with somebody you say is an alcoholic, but to make a baby with them. But you did.
It's true.
And child is entitled to know both parents.
It's true.
Good. Now, let's go.
He had supervised visitation during this custody proceeding, and now he's not allowed in the bar as part of our agreement when he has her for visitation.
Fine. But he has her for visitation.
Correct.
Good. Which means that the court found that he was a reasonable enough guy to have unsupervised visits.
Correct.
Right? Despite what you said.
Correct.
So the court found that you were not a credible witness. Because when you had a trial on the issue of custody and visitation, did you have hearings with regard to custody and visitation?
Yes.
And were you opposed to him having unsupervised visits?
Yes.
The court did not believe you as to the reasons why, because the court ultimately granted him unsupervised visits.
We settled.
You only settled because your lawyer said he's going to get unsupervised visits. Listen, I was in the business 25 years. I know the game. If you thought you were winning, you wouldn't have settled. That's not the way women play the game. What else?
He harasses me. I had the restraining order, and this is a stack of emails he has sent me through then. I've caught him following me to the doctor's office where I take my daughter. He continues to sue me regardless of what's happening. I have 4 pending court cases outside of this court.
What are the 4 pending court cases?
He sued me for money when we were together. His mother's suing me for money.
Did his mother give you money?
Yeah, she paid a couple car payments for me.
So his mother gave you money?
Yes.
She's entitled to sue you for money. What other case?
We had a court case Monday, and he failed to show up. He was trying to get me in contempt of child support. He failed to show up. The judge dismissed
What do you
him.
mean he was trying to get you in contempt for child support? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
We share medical bills, basically, so she hasn't paid me half the medical bills, so I took it to court.
Have you paid the medical bills you're supposed to?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Oh, well, then I assumed that the case would be dismissed and probably with prejudice.
He wanted medical payments up until the time she was born. So since we were together up until she was 9 months old, the judge didn't see that was appropriate.
Keep going. What are the other lawsuits? You said 4.
Right. So we had the court case on Monday. The 2 lawsuits that his mother and him have against me. And then we have another one objecting an administrative hearing where I get to claim her on tax exemptions every year.
Okay. How much do you pay for child support?
I was paying $204 every 2 weeks.
And who do you live with?
I live by myself with my daughter.
And you work?
Yes.
Who pays for daycare?
I do.
Solely?
Yes.
What does it cost you for daycare?
$380 a month.
Well, Mr. Krollman, if I were judge hearing the case and you were paying $100 a week support and she's paying for daycare, I wouldn't let you claim the child as a tax deduction either. I'm just telling you, that's gratuitous advice. If she's paying $380 for child care a month and she lives by herself with her child and half of all of the expenses are attributed to the child, then your $100 a week doesn't cut it for 50% of support. So I would just gratuitously give up on that one. Listen, the fact that you don't like each other anymore is unfortunate. If you liked each other, you'd still be together. You did a very dumb thing in making a child together. You picked the guy who you say is an alcoholic. Not too swift, but he's yours, and he's your daughter's, and he's entitled to see her, and she's the mother of your child, and she's with her a lot, Mr. Krollman. And if you were a nice guy, you wouldn't want to stress out the person whose primary responsibility it is to take care of your child. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you do that, it's just vindictive, not smart, and certainly not in your daughter's best interest. I'm just telling you, just not smart. It's petty and stupid. The fact that she filed for this protective order, Nonsense. It was nonsense. I know what happened. She went like this. She didn't accidentally dump the poker chips. She went like that. She was angry. She knows it. I know it. She knows that I know it. That doesn't give you license to push her, which you did. Does it require a protective order? Were there other acts of violence in your relationship? I don't know the answer to that question. It's over. Put a period. Move on positively. You have to live together for the next 16 years. They can either be happy 16 years or miserable 16 years. Your child is 2, right? Right. It's up to you. You're both young people. You have a chance to move on and be happy.
Can I add something, Your Honor?
Yes.
Because of things that have happened in the past, that was the first time that I've filed anything. I've called the cops several times. He's taken my daughter. I've had to call the cops to get her back from his mother. He's thrown things at me, broke a mirror, shoved me in the closet. I had to call the cops when we went on vacation.
Was this all before November of 2005?
Yes, it was.
And yet you went to bed with him in November of 2005. You met him up at a bar. Nobody grabbed you and brought you back to the house, right?
True.
Okay. You don't get points for genius.
True.
Goodbye.
True.
Excuse.
Marked a location. I need a weapon.